And that'll, yeah, well, that'll just trigger even more pain, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's a nasty little balance to strike, to be honest. Yeah, yeah. It is the music and everything, yeah. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. You've joined us for the TCR Challenge Cup Season 16. It's week 7, so we're over halfway now. And we are at Knockhill International Circuit. We are early morning. It's 21 degrees. I don't think it's ever been 21 degrees in Scotland. Has it, Alan? I'm not sure.
1872.
Yeah, for about 30 seconds. I am Pete Bingham, and I'm joined in the booth as ever, thankfully. You give us a prayer to somebody. I'm joined by Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, Peter. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's after the battering and 2 failed stops finishes last night. I'm glad to be sitting here watching rather than actually on the track.
So Alan was driving this track backwards. It was intentional, by the way. He's not as crazy as me. Or maybe you are, I don't know. But yeah, it was a bit of a rough ride for you, wasn't it? So
it was.
Yeah, okay. But
I'm looking forward to this, Pete. I've got to tell you, these cars are a fierce old handful anywhere, and around this track, this is a pretty intense little circuit.
I don't believe you, Alan, because if you look at the track map on the screen, it's quite simple. Yeah, there's not many turns on it. It's not that long. It's only 51, 52 seconds.
On it.
Barely a corner on it. That's the way to describe it. Yeah, this is dead easy. This is like oval racing, right? Yeah, we'll see. Right, let's go and talk about some stuff, shall we? Pete's forgotten what to do. I'll do this. So there we go. Right, so a few things to catch up on. Who's back with us? Spencer McCarthy has returned to the fold, Alan.
Oh, good.
So that's always a good sign.
I'm pleased about that, and good to have the Geo guys back at full strength.
Absolutely, because I've got some work to do. We'll talk about that very shortly. Who else have we got back? Making my way down the list of drivers. That's what I meant. Mark Draper has changed his vehicular. He's now gone into, I think he was in the Honda, was he? I'm going to go Honda or Elantra, one of them two. He's in the Audi now. Not the car of choice, but it's the car he likes. So we're here to enjoy ourselves, right? And therefore he's joined the Audi fraternity, Alan.
Well, good on him.
Yeah.
It is very much, some people just love that car, don't they?
Yes, they do, yeah. And it's nice, it's nice to drive. As long as you don't mind shifting straight the way to 4th gear. Anyway, who else has returned to us? No, I think Remy was here last week. Maybe Remy wasn't here last week. I don't remember shouting his name out. Making my way down. And we've got 2 brand new drivers, Alan.
Awesome. That's fantastic news, Pete.
As the bonnet says on his car, and don't adjust your sets, folks, this is not a Chimera car. I repeat, not a Chimera car. Just in case you thought it was this one with the chevrons, it is not. It is this one with the chevrons. So I think Chimera want their money back. Anyway, this is Boyd Driesen from DB Quasi Racing. So this is a brand new team to us. They've joined us in the AM category, and they're having a good deal of fun in the chat on Discord, that's for sure. And we hope they have a whole load of fun over the bumps and whistles that is Knockhill International, and with us as the BSTV community in general. Dave Cams, who is currently sat in pit road. I can't even focus on his car at the minute. He's on the chat though, and he's saying, "Hi lads, not the best of tracks for my debut." It's not the best of tracks for anybody's debut or otherwise, mate. So it's a tough one. It's a baptism of fire, but it is massively enjoyable, isn't it, Alan?
Yes, yeah. It's an intense lap. It doesn't let off. It's not dull, is it, Pete? You know, and it's dangerous as well.
Yeah, very much.
It's dangerous, and but people want to pass you. It's intense, and people are going to be close, and there's not an awful lot of room all the way around, and it's nearly always dangerous to make a passing manoeuvre. So we're going to expect to see some brave and very inspirational driving by these chaps to get by.
Yeah, and a lot of cooperation is required around this track as well, with absolute cooperation and pure faith. There is no Miguel. Big Mig is not here. Miguel Freitas is not here. He did tell us this last week. He's given everybody else a chance, Alan.
Yeah, well, he's been very dominant, hasn't he, for the last few weeks? And
Yes, he
just
has.
well, he's the guy's incredibly talented, and he, he he's won. I think he won 6 races on the trot, didn't he? Something
Uh,
ridiculous.
yeah, he's got back to his dominant ways. If I had a button that said the following, understatement, I would have pressed it when you said that. Right, let's have a look at the standings. So, in the pro category, Big Mig is out in the lead. We're on the right-hand column now, folks, right-hand column. We are beyond halfway, so we're going with drop scores. So, Miguel, 685. You could easily argue that that was a low score at this point in the season because we've seen higher than that in previous seasons. Pete Newman has floated surreptitiously, I think that's a good word, Alan, I like that word,
Yes,
into
yes.
second place. It was Sam Blees, of course, or was it? No, it wasn't. He would have been there anyway. But he has almost stealth-like moved into second place. He doesn't win, but he gets very, very, very high scores.
Consistency, Pete.
Yes,
It's been that
very.
quiet consistency. 2 second places last week.
Yep.
It's do you know if you can't get in front of Miguel, being just behind him is quite a good place to be.
Yeah, absolutely right. Perfect analogy and descriptor of that one. And then the mighty Spencer McCarthy, the fastest racer never to win this trophy, is in third place. And then Sam Blees, multiple champion of this series, in fourth place. You can see that there's not many points in this season. We were hopeful it would be a dramatic one, and it is. And then Wobbly in fifth, who we won't talk about anymore. Pro-Am category, top fives. Carl Hardy is in the lead, but he's not that much in the lead. He's only 55 points ahead of Russell Cowell. And I didn't expect Russell to be there at this point in the season, Alan. It's not because he's no good, it's because, again, he hasn't featured very highly on our ratings, but he has been consistent, like you said before, and he has kept it clean over the course of the season.
Yes, it's great to see Russell doing well,
Yep.
back with us and racing with us. Carl's doing very well, but yeah, Russell's another one who's been just quietly working away at it, hasn't he? And kind of flying under the radar a bit.
Yep, absolutely.
And yeah, but fantastic. Yeah. I'm loving this. It's we're seeing. If you look down the list of names, there isn't anybody there who hasn't had fantastic racing every time, every single event.
I wish I got a pound for every time I said Remy Malaberti last week because he was in everything. Tony Walker's been a busy boy on track in a few races, and Jamie Wilson missed out on the first few races of the season, but still in fifth. It's all doing fantastic for the competitiveness of this league. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's move on to AM category. AM category is, I want to say dominated, but it's not really, is it? Because there's not many points in that between David Ayres and Jason Haddington. That's pretty close. And then there's a bit of a drop to Fiona, who says this is the best track of the season. I would not argue against that. This is going to be a very exciting race, and Knockhill is such a wonderful track. And then Chris Dixon doing very, very well. Very solid performance there in fourth place, with Arnaud Chenonnier in fifth. Again, he has had a nice, clean, consistent season, and that's why he's knocking on the door of the top three. The top three. He's in fifth at the minute. And then Anthony Hilton, who is new to us this season, is only 5 points behind Arnaud Chenonnier. And you can see the new boys at the bottom there, Boyd, Dave rather, and I don't know that Scott has joined us this week. I don't see his name in the standings. We'll look forward to when he rejoins us. But we do have 30 racers tonight, Alan.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And look at David and Jason. You know, those two. It's the element of competition at the bottom end of the grid has been so fantastic this season, and I know that they're really enjoying the racing and having a good time of it.
Yeah, and hopefully that continues all the way through.
Yeah, and a word for Chris Dixon, because I know he's thrilled the way this is going. I mean, fourth place. Well done, Chris.
Absolutely. Good evening to Sam Boozin. How are you doing?
Oh,
Guys.
lovely.
Yeah,
Sam.
Joined us in the booth for some commentary, have you?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Right, we got 3. Right, now it's a party. Right, Alan, get the drinks out.
Okay.
Right, next one is team standings. So, Hydra Race Geodesic Racing. We've seen them in the past. They've been 300 points, believe it or not, ahead of everybody at this point in previous seasons, and they are not. There is only, what's that, 119 points between them and Spectre 6. That's one of the closest ones, and we saw Spectre 6 race after them right at the end of the previous season, if you remember, Alan. It was one of the tightest seasons of all.
Yes. Well, there's just great teams.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the quality of the drivers. 30 drivers tonight, and there's an awful lot of very good drives in that mix.
Absolutely.
And a lot of them are really like Knockhill as well. So,
and then we've got Impulse Racing in third, which is just Miguel this season. No Jason Landry. BSTV Pink are in fourth, which is mostly JB's points, let's face it, because Wobbly's been running around Holland aimlessly, probably. And then Safeguard in fifth, which is a great result for the likes of Roger Morton, who has been so consistent and has scored so many high points this season. A remarkable.
I think it's been a bit of a highlight as Roger, hasn't he? He's really it's given us a lot of pleasure. It's been great watching him turn in some of the best racing of his career.
I would agree with that.
Great to see.
He's absolutely developed to the top of the pile. Right, so driver of the meeting. This one, Jamie Jeffrey, Spencer McCarthy, and Pete Newman share the top spot at the moment. So there's plenty to go for there. And then a whole bag full of people on 1 point. Jamie Wilson, Stefan, Miguel, Pete Van Gool, Loic and Roger.
We all could get on the top step with just one more vote.
I know.
There's nothing in it, is there?
No, it always gets like this. There's so many people that put in such good individual performances on various different weeks. And then we've got your Safe Driver Award, Alan. JB's still holding his own at the top of it. That is remarkable, really, given the talent that's around him. Look at the names that's near him. Jamie Jeffrey, Spencer McCarthy. I know. The gap is massive. He's absolutely bossing this one. He's got this one sorted, as long as he doesn't have a terrible knock-ill.
It is a dangerous circuit, but JB has been in the middle of the thick of things every single race. So how he does it, I don't know. And Jamie, I think that's even more extraordinary, frankly. How he manages to,
especially with the performances that he puts in.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be at many things. And Spencer, look at that. That's brilliant by Spencer.
I know.
Because he's done these back to front performances. He's still managed to nail his safety.
Yeah, he nearly did a last to first challenge the other week. It was really good. Right, let's have a look at what's going on here. So Sam Blees is currently top of the pile. We're going to go on board with him. And Sam, I believe, when I can find the right button to press here, we'll have that one. I believe they've sterilised the track somewhat, so they have stopped us, as in drivers, going heavy over the curbs. I don't know whether I know you've not driven a lot of iRacing recently, but hooning it over the curbs was one of the things for this track, right?
That was the only good thing about this track.
Not a fan then, no?
No, yeah, I like the track. It's a great track. I think it provides good driving. I raced it in the V8s, and the usage of the curb was just insane in the V8s. I don't know what it's gonna be like in the TCRs though. It's gonna be fun, and I think, looking at the driver's chat, there's gonna be a lot of slowdowns.
Yes, that is a key feature of this. Turn 3 is apparently a 1x and slowdown magnet. As we watch Sam Blees going around somebody there. We're going to go on a lap with him. He's going to try and distance himself from the car in front of him there, which I think might be... Well, it's definitely... no, it's Rene, I think. I think that's Rene. Rene Earhart for Cutting Corny. Somebody in the Cutting Corny gang is in the chat there saying, let's go Team Cutting Corny. So, into turn 1 here. You've got to have faith. Absolute faith. You can't see the track. You just got to know that it's there on the other side. And then turn 2. This is the one, turn 3 here, which has got the off-track and slow down on the outside of it. Then you take that little bump there, and then you're absolutely airborne going over these ones. Look at the state of that. That's Jamie Jeffrey in front of us, who's going to get in Sam's way here. Turn 6 this is, up and over the crest of that one. You're not far from the end, and Sam's bailed on me, which is just frustrating. Let's go on Jamie Jeffrey's car as we aim towards the end of the lap here. I'll do some corner names for you later, once I remember.
That won't take long.
No, it won't. There's only like half a dozen. Out of Taylor's hairpin, which is the one behind us, and then we'll go around again. We'll go around again with somebody reliable,
Yes.
shall we? With Jamie Jeffrey here into Duffer's Dip. Again, be faithful, turn right and hoon it through that corner. You're heading towards McIntyre, which is this right-hander here, with the off-track on the outside. Butcher's is this little kink here, which feels mighty before you go through the chicane here, and then off to onto Brabham Straight here, and then you've got Clark's corner, which is the right-hander here, which feels off-camber every time you try and turn through it. It wants to spit you out into that kitty litter on the left-hand side there, and then down Railway here. Where Stephen Walker over on the right hand side there before we get into Taylor's again. It's a 51-second lap round here. It's over before it's begun. And Sam, it's one of the most dramatic laps I think you can have. There's no peace, is there?
No. The circuit is so short, and there's quite a lot of corners. It's busy all the way around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, overtaking. Do you see anybody having an opportunity to pass around here? There's only really, if you're serious about it, only really one safe place, and that's into Taylor's hairpin, right?
I think there's 3 places.
3.
Right.
Let's have it.
Yeah, don't turn 1, which is very brave.
Oh, that's risky though. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
If you're with Carlardi, the turn you just passed before the kind of straight going to the hairpin. I think that's That's another brave spot, but it's doable, and of course the hairpin.
Right. Okay. So 3 from Sam. Any advance on 3, Alan?
No.
No.
The 3 what chosen was, and you know, it's not easy on any of the 3, is it?
No.
It's not like you've got vast amounts of room.
No, definitely not.
If you're really brave, I would have turn 3.
Turn 3. What? The one with the off track on the outside.
The right-hander,
yeah. So, because if you're coming down through Duffers, you can get alongside on the right-hand side and block past them, yeah. As Jamie Jeffrey goes past Boyd Driesen. I did do my looking up of how to say names, Alan.
Oh, did you?
I did, yeah. And Dietmar Hoos is how we say Dietmar's name. For all those Cutting Corny fans that are in the chat at the moment. Right.
Well, at least you got Dietmar right. I'm pleased about
yeah,
that.
we got that right for a couple of weeks actually. Marco Lower is on the chat again. Hello, Marco.
Oh, Marco.
Yeah, and the focus of his. Yeah.
It's Stefan just saying hello.
And that's who I was about to focus on. The only problem was I still can't find him in the standings. Where the hell is he? Nope. Oh, he's gone to pits. That's why I can't find him. There he is, coming back out again now. So, for those new to the series, and maybe even Sam's forgotten, it's a 20-minute race after this 15 minutes of qualifying, which we are halfway through. Then we have, we're on 35% fuel for all of these cars. No requirement to pit stop unless you've got damage, and if you do, you've got 1 fast repair for each race. Then we'll have a 5-minute pause between races, and then we'll embark upon what we call a feature race, which is we've found out is now a 40-minute sprint race. And in that race, the likelihood is you will have to pit for fuel only. No tyres. These tyres can go on for several days. You don't need to pit for those, but you do need some fuel. Occasional tracks and car combinations have resulted in no stops. But it's not very common, and has not resulted in a win very often at all. I think Sam Blease has managed 1, and Pete Newman obviously managed 1 at Okayama last season, where he absolutely demolished the entire field and won by 10 seconds. But we're looking beyond that, aren't we, Alan?
Yes, and
Yes.
that was tactical acumen by Pete.
It certainly was, yeah.
Reading the situation, but yes, we don't have the kind of races that it takes that lends itself to fuel saving, really.
No, we don't. I mean, these are TCR races anyway, which, you know, you don't see that normally, I don't think.
I'm wondering if we're going to see some, you know, in other places where the overtaking has been difficult,
Yeah.
we've seen those really extended passages side by side where the drivers
Yeah.
really show off their skill because it's the only way you can get by, and it's taking 3 or 4 corners.
I know.
I'm just wondering if that's going to be happening tonight.
No, I can't see it because side by side means death round here. And Sam, Spencer McCarthy never does any practice, rocks up on the night and does the fastest lap of the practice session so far. How much do we need to hate him? Sorry, qualifying session. on a scale of 1 to 2, how much hate are you providing?
Forever ban.
Forever ban. Excellent. Yeah, that's the one. His teammate has just taken second place from Wobbly, who has changed cars, Alan. He has abandoned the Audi, left it to rust in his shed, and has voted to drive the Veloster instead.
Veloster, yes. Well, it's a good car.
It is a good car.
But it's a bit track dependent, perhaps more than some of the others.
I would have thought so as well, yeah, because the Elantra's strong in general. The Audi doesn't have the top end, it kind of tops out very early. The Honda seems to have very specific tracks with high acceleration exits of corners where it dominates, and then tracks where it really doesn't. And then this one, I don't know, it's good on the top end of speed sometimes, isn't it? And it's very, very manoeuvrable. Oh, as somebody goes utterly sideways. I think that was... no, it wasn't Anthony. It was Andy. No. I think it must have been Chris Dixon then. Yes, there he is. Sideways through the gravel.
So easy though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. How long has it been, Sam, since you drove a TCR car? Is it like years?
I think last season I did 1 or 2 races.
Oh, no, you did, didn't you? Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
Yeah.
Not that long.
No, true. So I mean, they haven't changed the car since then. So, did you find the car? I mean, the balance of performance is very good now. Actually, it gives each of the cars a shot at being the car on vogue, as it were. Did you enjoy your time in the car? Or I know you like your rear-wheel drive. I know you like your Porsches. And the V8s and stuff. But how did you find the TCR when you drove it?
Well, I found that the balance of performance is rubbish because I was at the back.
That'll do it.
I don't know if the BOP you're talking about is more my BOP, which is not right. I don't know if the cars are well balanced because I'm not driving them enough. But it looks like what the guys are doing with them is pretty good. Way better than what I can. So yeah, that's great.
Well, I'm going to go and just sort something out because I forgot to do something and I don't want my house to burn down. So if you are all right talking amongst yourselves about, let's talk about Jamie Jeffrey, then I'll be back very, very shortly.
Where's Jamie? Oh, 6. So, yeah. Jamie's a regular kind of top 5 guy these days. He is. He's got incredible pace. There was a lot of people last week, Sam, saying that they enjoyed driving here. And I was thinking, well, it's so hard to overtake. It makes you wonder why, but I think it must be the challenge of the racing. What do you reckon? Because it's just, this track is an art form.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things with this track. There's momentum, there's elevation changes, and there's the challenge to not make any mistakes, to avoid losing track position, because it's so hard to pass that you really have to keep your track position to hope for a good result, or at least a decent result.
Yes, and of course, like what you said, it's very hard to actually keep the car clean, isn't it? It's so easy to go wheel on the sand, just get a slight spin. I got lapped twice last night, and all just because of 2 slight spins, that just slight delay, but the laps are so short that you're in danger of being lapped very quickly. It doesn't take very much.
It is, and I won't be surprised if some of the guys are lapped in the 20-minute race, because we are talking about 30 drivers at the same time on the track. The last few of them will be way behind the leaders, and we know the pace of Sam Spencer, not wobbly because he is wobbly, but all the other at the front are super fast. And you already have the gap from the start, but then there's the pace difference. So I will expect some traffic coming in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, yes, and how that works out and how that pans out with the different drivers moving through the traffic is going to be interesting, and we're going to see a lot of that in the feature race as well, because that's 40 minutes and we're going to have a pit stop, so a lot of mixing up and a lot of and of course with the reverse grid we're going to have the fast chaps from the first race blump right in the middle of the pack, which always makes things very interesting.
Definitely gonna have traffic in the second race, yes. The thing is, those people at the back are still racing themselves. They have a race to race for, and although there's blue flags, they still have the rights to race. So we'll see how they manage
absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
I know, all of
with
them are very respectful. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're quite right, because with the league thing now, with the AMs and the pro-AMs and the pros, there's 3 separate championships running all at the same time. Everybody's got something to race for, Sam, and they are, and it's created a fantastic race and up and down the entire length of the field. But yeah.
Right. Well, I've rejoined, by the way.
Okay, back in time. Let's go through the grid.
Yeah, so I'm going to dash through this one because 30 races is quite a lot. So Spencer McCarthy will lead us away tonight for Hydra Race Jurassic Racing. Sam Please, his teammate, on the front row in second with him, so they've locked out the front row. Wobbly Kneecaps goes off third for BSTV Pink. Pete Newman off fourth for Result Esports team with Pure Sims. Rene Earhart, off fifth for Cutting Corny TCR team, the first of our AM drivers. Sixth will be Jamie Jeffrey. Seventh will be Tony Walker. Eighth will be Carl Hardy. JB will go off 9th. That's a good start for JB. Jake Corley off 10th. Don't forget to watch his stream if you've got it on a different screen. 11th will be Stephen Walker. Roger Morton will go off 12th. 13th will be Jamie Wilson. Chris Needham will go off 14th. 15th will be Russell Cowell. Pete Van Gool, PVG, will go off 16th. Remy Malaberti will go off 17th. Dietmar Hoos will go off 18th. 19th will be Loic Penalt. Stop flashing your lights, whoever that is in that BDS car. Mark Draper will go off 20th. Stefan will go off 21st. David Ayres, the first of tonight's AM drivers, will go off 22nd. Kevin Daniels will go off 23rd. 24th will be, stop it, where's my button? 24th will be Dave Campbell. Cheers. 25th will be Boyd Driesen. Anthony Hilton will go off 26th. 27th will be Fiona. Kylie will go off 28th. I can see you, Chris. 29th will be Andrew Littler, and Fiona, you need to stop that, and Chris Dixon will go off 30th and last, and we are about to go racing here at Knockhill. Let me find a camera that works better than that one, and we are go at Knockhill.
What about a drive-through for those who flashes the lights?
Yeah, and just keep driving through. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so the two Geo boys straight through the first couple of turns. The cameras here are rubbish, by the way. Just thought I'd point that out. Might have to make my own for the next time.
That's a lot of touring cars on this tight little track.
I know, look at the state of it. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh,
sorry, that was Chris Needham going off stage right. And then rejoining very carefully, which is good. That's one of the new boys.
Oh, that's one of our new chaps.
Yeah, that's Dave Campbell. Has found the wall there on the approach.
Getting his balance at the rear.
Yeah, so we're
going
to go.
Doesn't need the aerodynamic down.
It's just added weight, isn't it, Alan? You don't need it. Just throw it off the car. Throw it off the car.
Really a purist.
Yeah. Chris Needham has gone to pit road. And he's towed to pit road. So something happened there. We'll have a look at that shortly.
That's a shame for Chris.
Yeah.
Tough to get back from a tow in this race for sure.
Yeah, it is. Jay Corley in the thick of it, so his stream is going to be a tasty one. So over the curbs we go.
And you can see the curves. You can see the wobble on the cars. I'll tell you, inside those cars, there's plenty of bounce going on.
Yep, good evening to Jennifer Sandman, who says let's go CCT, so that's Cutting Corny.
Link Corny.
Yeah.
Well,
That's Deep Mars
well,
team.
well supported. That's great to see, isn't it?
It is,
it's
yeah.
Nice to have people in the chat and welcome everybody.
The other Cutting Corny car is currently going door to door with Jamie Jeffrey into turn 1 here. So we're going to join Jamie Jeffrey and we're going to go on his nose and see what happens here. Oh, that's tight. Oh, Jamie, where are you going? Oh, I feel sick. I feel sick. Oh, I feel sick.
Crikey.
Right, okay. Stephen Walker's off.
Stay out the wall.
Everybody's
stay
off.
out the wall. Now Stevens. Oh, crikey, did he go in the wall? Oh.
And JB and Jamie. Right, so Stephen Walker trying to rejoin. We had a bit of chaos there. I'm going to go and find that. Because that was a little bit of everything happening all at once.
Airborne cars, I was thinking.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me find out where it all started. It's got so many off tracks for everybody, even people that haven't had proper off tracks, because it's this track. First car that went off track was Stephen, I think. Let's have a look at this. Oh right, he's slammed into the wall like good and hard.
Why did he slam into the wall though, Pete?
I know, yeah, not really. That's all I've got of that one, believe it or not. Right, let's have a look at this one. Oh no, I've not gone far back enough. God, it's happened all the way back here. Right, let me have a look at this one. So this is where it all began. So we're going up and over the brow of the hill, heading into Duffus. Right, so everybody gets underneath Wobbly's rear wing, and then he shoots out that way. And then what happens next? Stephen Walker does it all on his own.
Stephen was reacting, I think.
Yeah.
He would have had James' car in the corner of his vision there. And,
yeah, and then JB and Jamie ended up where we saw them. Right, let's go back to live racing, because it's all still kicking off. Right.
Well, this is great for the Geo boys. These are just lapping that up because they can work together, can't they? And they've got the block on the front.
I'm guessing, Sam, that Stephen just got foxed by the fact that Jamie Jeffrey was off on the right and he wanted to stay as far left as he could.
I wonder if he thought that Jamie would come back on track before the turn, because it looked a bit like that. Although it's Russ and he probably wasn't really in control of the car at that point. Then he managed to gather it and go back on track after the turn. Maybe that, I don't know. We'll have to ask Sam after the race, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Jamie Jeffrey on a recovery drive now. He's not dropped that many positions though. That's the thing. He's in 7th, and the car in front of him, which is... Hang on, the car in front of him can't be that car. Oh, it's Tony Walker. He's got no front end. So
Tony's gone for the strip back. Look, it's fashionable this season.
Yeah,
for
it is.
Cooling.
We've seen that a couple of times, haven't we? Oh, and there's Fiona on the other side.
Fee.
That's what you get for flashing your lights, Fee.
Instant karma.
Yeah.
Now there's Colsey right in
Fiona.
the midst of things. He's doing really well. Oh,
right, okay. PVG.
Is that David?
No, it's PVG.
Oh, it's PVG.
Yeah. Fiona's getting mobbed at the minute.
Well, this is...
Right, so Jamie
You know,
Jeffrey.
we're going to get passing cars. I'm pretty sure we were talking about this before.
We were,
We're going to get lapping cars.
Yeah. It's only a 51-second lap, so
the purple laps are coming
quick.
out. Spencer put the purple lap in and then Wobbly.
Yeah, Wobbly is on one at the minute. He is in the middle of nowhere between René Earhart behind him and Pete Newman, who's almost staying with the top two. Not quite. Somebody's engine just blew up. I think it was Tony Walker's. Oh, that's because he's in the wall again. All right, let me have a look at what happened there.
Because Tony was doing very well, wasn't he?
He was doing brilliantly, seeing as he only had like 2/3 of a car. So he's followed Jamie Jeffrey in here. Sam, let's see what happens with this. Oh, he's lost it already on the way in.
Crack. How many times have I visited that blooming wall?
I remember someone called P. Bingham that did exactly the same a few.
No, I didn't. Right. Let's not start with that. Oh, dear. Right, so let me go back to live racing. And before we spend half the broadcast looking at
Let's have new chaps. How is it? Is he getting on? Is he recovered from his
He's up 5 places from the start, so he's doing all right. Dave Campbell was the one that reversed off the track and ended up in the wall. He's still up 2
How's
places.
Dave doing? Oh, good.
Yeah, he's got Chris Needham behind him on track, but he's actually a lap down on him. So Chris Needham not having the best of races.
No, but he got back out on the track. That's nice because he had to take the trip back to the pits, didn't he? That's very unfortunate.
He did, yeah. Right. So
getting the throws are just a drag at any time, and on a race like this, it's just you come here, you know, you're looking forward to the race, and you just get out on the track, and it all goes pear-shaped, and it's just very disappointing for the drivers because, you know, they're here to race and they care about it.
Yeah, they do, and you know they put a lot of practice in these guys. You don't want to see them like not doing well. Right, I'm going to go on board with whatever. Excuse me. Where's
I was about to tell you.
Yeah. Going on roll bar with Stephen and see what he's. Oh, he lost it way in advance. Wow, that is a wild ride that he's got there in that Audi. Can we even describe that, Sam? Because that was like the car just attacked him.
Did he get a touch from behind?
I don't think he did. He was all on it. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, he's not on his own.
Carl Hardy.
Well, he whacked the car and then
they were both out of control, weren't they?
That was handbags at dawn, really, wasn't it? There was all sorts going on there. So yes, well called, Sam. You realised that there was someone poking his bottom.
That's why I've always been better than you, Pete.
Oh my word, that's a statement from the gods.
No, you do an absolute great job.
Oh, no. Oh, well held, sir.
Yeah.
Well held indeed.
So where is Davy Daniels? He's always on the chat. Kevin's back in the race, and we've not heard a peep from him. Maybe he's actually screaming in Kevin's ear to say, you know, get on with it. So this is Kevin Daniels from DDK Racing. Wasn't here the last, I think, two race weeks. Because he was too busy sunning himself somewhere. I think he said he was playing tennis. Who does that, Sam? Who plays tennis? Who goes outside, Sam?
I don't know. People with
running around as well.
things in their heads.
We don't go outside. Why would we do that when there's sim racing?
Well, the only reason to go
well.
outside is to drive your car.
Well, yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. Yeah, and then run from shelter to shelter. Right, so at the front of this race, Spencer and Sam are still the 2 leaders. You've not got double vision, folks. One is in green and one is in blue. These guys will race each other. Do not expect these guys to have any kind of race orders or give easy races to each other. These guys race one another all the way to the end. What's Jay Corley done? He's decided to find the field.
Bit of grass isn't there.
Yeah, sometimes a bit of grass can be good, Alan.
Yes, so I understand. I like a nice and warm myself.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you know, stripes.
Those doesn't change.
Dear. Right, so
Halfway through the race, by the way.
Thank you.
Now Stephen's making progress here, isn't he?
He is. He's trying to get back through the field after exiting stage left, thanks to a combination of himself and Carl Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's very good at doing it, though.
He is. Yeah, stellar. Chris Dixon, I think he's going to get a nosebleed, right? Because he's in 19th place. I don't remember him being this high up. He's got JB bearing down on him really heavily.
Yeah, well, this is great for the pair of them. Because, you know, I remember it's not so long ago that JB was kind of more to where Chris Dixon is than he is where he is now.
Absolutely.
And, he's a great story to tell and a great encouragement to people like Chris because look where he is now and it's all off the sweat of his brow and just that bit of determination, putting the time in.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fun. It is
I love to see it.
Yeah.
I love to see it, you know, because stuck in season after season and just got better and better and better. Took it all on board.
Absolutely.
Intelligent man and a real credit to the league.
I'm going to draw everybody's eyes to the timing tower, and I'm going to draw them to the bottom of the timing tower. And David Ayres is in the pits, and he's been in the pits for a very long time. He is the AM leader at the moment. What's the name below his in the timing tower, Alan?
Oh, goodness me.
So the top,
Kylie.
yeah, the top 2 are in the pits.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Fun
Do you
thing.
think they've had a fun meeting?
I know, yeah. Go on, Sam.
I think about Jason almost every time I watch NASCAR, because now they turn me right around each time there's a car around.
Dead or
on the track.
alive. Dead or alive.
And this is insane. So Jason, this is for you. Shootout. I think about you almost every week, but not for good reasons.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, it will be appreciated, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh definitely. Right, so evening to David Daniels. He's woken up and he's listened. Here's the two. Well, one of the Boots and VDS cars, Remy Malaberti, is under pressure from Roger at the minute.
Come on, Rog.
Yeah, he's given. This is an Elantra train, this actually, and then his teammate Loic is ahead of him on the road and chasing down Dietmar Hoos, who is the Cutting Corny second car so far, the Elantra, because Rene Earhart is the first car, the Veloster. He's in 5th place and is the lead Pro-Am car in the field at the moment.
Got a little bit of space and
Yeah.
driving really well.
I suppose the only thing I'd be worried about is the guy chasing him is Jamie Jeffrey.
Yeah. Jamie's just quality, and he qualified in 6th, which is, he's kind of regular. He's so consistent.
Yep.
He is. But Carl was in a strong top 10. It's nice to see some of those. Got people there in the top 10. It's they're firing above their weight and doing really well.
Yeah, Dave Campbell, rejoining the track. It's a lethal rejoin, this track, because the pit lane exit is part of the racing circuit for those already on a lap. But it's
he did it well, though.
He did it very well. He was very careful with it, and that's what we like to see. Although he does have a couple of three Pro-Am cars bearing down on him very quickly.
Yes, you come out with cold tyres into an absolute bunch of cars that are absolutely working at peak efficiency. And there's no way you can actually fit straight in with them.
No, I know. And the cars that are approaching him at the minute are equally as fast. But these guys are racing for really good positions here. So Stefan is currently the proud owner of 13th place. He's up 8 places from the start, which is remarkable. But Pete Van Gool and Kevin Daniels are giving him a right load of grief. Pete Van Gool getting every inch of the track used, which is excellent work. As they go through this turn 3 off-track threat with a slowdown in it. Yeah,
they'll be enjoying that little battle, won't they? That's quality stuff. We get these fantastic head-to-heads now.
Yeah, we do.
There's so many cars on the track. Everybody's got a scrap on their hands.
Really, yes, is the answer to that one. As Wobbly Kneecaps puts in the fastest lap of the race, milliseconds after Pete Newman did his.
Goodness.
I know.
This is great. That's the 3rd or 4th person to put in the fastest lap, and it's not easy to get in the purple after quali because everyone's just going so blooming quick.
Jay Corley finding this one a bit of a rough ride. He's down 6 places from the start. He's got a few people watching his stream at the moment, 4 people watching his stream. It's always worth watching that one afterwards because it's hilarious. Stefan bearing the pressure of Pete Van Gool behind him. Oh, he was, Sam, but he's let him go. He's let 2 cars go. He's got to slow down.
What's happening?
Slow down.
Oh, poor Stefan.
Turn 3,
that would
slow
be the
down.
pressure, though, from Pete, won't it? You know,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Doing very well, though, Stefan. It's great to see him out there and doing so well.
Yeah.
He's in the thick of it. It'll be lovely. You know, he'll have a smile plastered on his face, and that's what we want. We want our drivers to be there. We want happy drivers.
We do. We just want them to enjoy themselves, and that's hopefully what you get in this league. Well, good evening to Nicola Jeffrey on the chat. A regular now. Where is he? He is in 6th place. This track is a bit too exciting for me. My nerves can't take it. Are you joking? I'm on blood pressure pills. Alan's on all the other pills on the planet. What are you taking, Sam? Alcohol?
I can't tell on the broadcast.
Okay, right, brilliant. Sam's on stuff that you can't admit to. Oh, there we go. Remy Malaberti and Roger.
Roger's still got his leg in plaster, of course.
Oh yeah,
But
Sam.
I think it's
Roger's driving with a broken ankle, Sam.
What the?
Yeah.
Man,
What
take
the hell?
some rest.
Yeah, totally.
it's
You're not
slightly
shaved
less
when
broke
he's
than it
looking.
was last week. It's had a week of healing.
Okay. Ooh, what's going on here? Pete Newman has caught Sam
Ooh.
Blease, because Sam Blease has clearly had a slowdown.
Slow down. Oh dear.
And that Sam Blease almost giving a position away. I reckon he's going to be really furious if that is what's happened, and I expect it will be what's happened. We've got 2 minutes of this race to go. They've only done 45,000 laps.
I can't see off tracks from Sam on my tracker, so that's probably what happened.
Yes. Oh, look at this. 5 wide, people. 5 wide.
What were you saying about you can't do that kind of thing?
Yeah. Pete is stupid. There we go. Right, so this is Loic trying to do a move here on Dietmar Hoos. Turn 1 is definitely not the place to try something like that, in my opinion, but Sam Boozen thinks it is. And it worked.
Such a
Oh, no, it
dangerous-
didn't. Oh!
dangerous round there.
Straighten him up. Dietmar gets on the gas again, but Roger and Pete Van Gool are the big winners there. Look at this crowded house here going through the kinks.
Look at this, fantastic.
Oh,
This
my
is
word.
great driving by everybody, though. I mean, how they got through there without most bent metal, I do not know. That was
No.
fantastic.
Nicola, we are now firmly with you. This is too much. Look at the boot lid. Look at the boot
You've
lid.
got to, God, you need eyes in the back of your head, don't you?
Yeah.
Out there, you really do.
Cutting
This
corny.
car's coming from more directions.
Yeah, cutting corny with sad faces. He's not dropped that far. He's only dropped 1 position, hasn't he? Oh no, he's dropped 2. But he's stayed with it.
Yeah.
He's doing all right, actually. That's a wide line, but he's gathered it together, brought it back to the racing line. He was on 9, right? Yes, he was on 10 at that point. Remy Malaberti was a bit further down the road than he was.
Wobbly off track.
Wobbly off track.
He was.
Ah, right, okay.
At least my tracker said he was.
It tells me everybody's off track every lap when they go around that hairpin. I don't know why.
Okay, fine.
It's true.
I was happy for a moment, but you
Thank
just
you.
killed it.
Yeah, no, sorry to disappoint and all that. Here's the battle for 15th. And we often find this, don't we, Alan, that the midfield battles are the thrushy ones. This is for 10th place, and it includes everything down
well,
16.
you know, everybody's. The thing is, I think it's just that basically the quality of the league is high. Everybody's a good driver, and it's just so. I know there has to be people at the front, and there has to be people in the middle, there has to be people at the back, but they're all very good drivers.
Yes.
The only reason the people at the front is because they're outstanding. It's not because the others are slow by any means. So we see that skill.
Yeah,
and we see
absolutely.
that intensity of racing throughout the entire length of the field because they're all good drivers and they've all been doing this for years.
Yeah, and we are on the last lap now, and Wobbly has just put in yet another fastest lap of 51.17, so it's for everybody else to beat. Spencer McCarthy is leading this one, with Pete Newman now in second, some way behind, and even further behind now is Sam Blease, and at risk of getting wobblied. But we must turn our eyes to Spencer McCarthy here.
Spencer, yeah.
He's going to roll across the line. He can afford to have a cornet, just one cornetto for Spencer McCarthy as he rolls over the line.
Well done, Spencer. That was a walk in the park for him, wasn't it?
It was. And Pete Newman, the stealth man of pro category, rolls over the line in second
Another
place.
second place.
Yes.
Another second place. More great points and just quietly there, you know.
Yeah.
You'll have to excuse me. I need to run.
Absolutely.
The excitement's got to me.
Yeah. I don't blame you either. Where's our lead? Our lead AM driver is Chris Dixon. Where's he gone? He's already left the circuit. I think that's the first time he's got top of his class. in that one, and Boyd Dryzen ends up second place in AM class in his first race with us. Sam, full of drama, eh?
As expected.
As expected, yeah. That was utterly bonkers, that. Whew, dearie me. Right.
Well, drivers might not like this track, but it provides great driving for the broadcast. It's great.
It is a spectacle to watch this track in most cars, actually. But Spencer McCarthy took home the honours for the first of tonight's races for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. 6 seconds in the end behind, 6 massive seconds, was Pete Newman for Result Esports team with Pure Sims. And then Sam Blees, the other Hydro Race Geodesic driver, gets the bottom step of the podium. Keeping Wobbly off the podium for BSTV Pink in 4th place. Then the first of our AM drivers was Rene Earhart for Cutting Corny TCR team. So the Cutting Corny studio on the chat shouldn't be too disappointed. Good points there for Rene. Jamie Jeffrey finished 6th after having turn 1 troubles for coupes and convertibles racing. Russell Cowell finished 7th for Spectre 6 and 2nd in class, as he is in the standings. Carl Hardy finished 8th for Safeguard by Result. Remy Malaberti finished 9th for Boots and VDS by Undercut, with Pete Van Gool in 10th for Result Clothing. Roger Morton finished 11th, that's a good result for Safeguard. Deep Marhus in 12th for Cutting Corny TCR team. Kevin Daniels finished 13th in the end for DDK Racing. Jamie Wilson 14th for Team Chimera. Jake Corley had a bit of a rough ride there in 15th for Result Clothing. Stefan Goebel finished 16th for VTS Esports. Loic Penault finished 17th for Boots and VDS by Undercut. And 18th was Mark Draper. He had a bit of a rough time at the start there, but
Who's my thingy? There it is.
You found your thingy again. Where am I? Oh, crikey! Have I moved too many? No.
Hello.
Hello. Stephen Walker finished 19th for Spectre 6. 20th was JB for BSTV Pink. Chris Dixon was the first of our AM drivers home for Work Guard. Boyd Dreesen, second of our AM drivers home for DB Quasi Racing in their first race with us. And Tony Walker finished 23rd for Spectre 6, 2 laps down. Chris Needham finished in 24th. What did I say? 26th. 23rd, 2 laps down. 24th for Chris Needham, Air Smart Racing. Andrew Littler finished 25th and 3rd in class for Work Guard, 3 laps down. Dave Campbell was classified in 26th, 3 laps down. Fiona 27th, 4 laps down, and Kylie 28th, 16 laps down. There are more folks because we had lots of drivers. David Ayres finished 29th, 16 laps down, and Anthony Hilton classified in 30th, 21 laps down. Okay, so we've got a few minutes worth of driving around the track. Where's Blimp gone? There it is. And I need to change this to this. Sam, anything to take away from the first race other than try and find yourself some clean bits of track to race on?
Chaos. But clean racing still,
yeah,
which is appreciable. Even drivers going off track made nice rejoins. I mean, yeah, it was pretty good and very enjoyable for the broadcast. We see Steven practicing pit in, pit out, which is a good thing to do, especially on this track. That's going to be interesting for race 2.
Yeah, it is, because as we said before, pit lane exit is part of the racing circuit for everybody, Alan.
Yes. It's slow in as well. It's slow in and awkward out, and yes.
Yeah, uphill in though. That does help scrub the speed off in these cars.
Yes.
If you're looking for a
To
silver
really got the
lining.
speed up because it's had to go around that incredible hairpin, which is that beautiful right-hander. This one here, look at it. It's what a corner that is.
It is.
It's an absolute beauty.
Yeah,
it is. You're going uphill. You're going right. And there are you. And there's the entrance to the pit. You barely got time to turn in.
Yeah, and then you take as much of this as you can on the way into turn 1, which means you are on the same bit of racing circuit as slow-moving cars coming out of pit road. It's going to be an interesting
the bit of wall on the right that has collected many a victim, and there's something about that corner that projects cars sharp right, 90 degrees. I don't know how it does it, but it's a regular feature of this track that cars go sharp right there, straight into that wall, like an arrow.
Yeah, Yeah, and you can't steer out of it. It's bizarre.
Oh, I think your wheels are in the air, Pete. So it's very difficult.
David Daniels says good recovery from Kevin after that qualifying. Yeah, I'd agree with that. You should put that GT3 car away, Davey, and come and join this crazy chaos, because you don't get much better than this. Pete Van Gool's laughing on the chat. I would think he's had a good time in that race. Right, let's go to show the grid for the second of tonight's races.
This is always interesting, isn't it? The reverse, honestly.
So Jay Corley will lead us away. His treat for finishing 15th in the first race for Result Clothing. Jamie Wilson will go off second on the front row. Kevin Daniels off third. Dietmar Hoos off fourth. Roger Morton off fifth. Pete Van Gool, PVG off sixth. Remy Malaberti off seventh. Eighth will be Carl Hardy. Russell Cowell will go off ninth. Jamie Jeffrey off 10th. 11th will be Rene Earhart. Wobbly will go off 12th. 13th will be Sam Blees. 14th will be Pete Newman. Spencer, his punishment for winning the first race is starting 15th. Stefan will go off 16th. Loic Penault will go off 17th. Mark Draper will go off 18th. Stephen Walker off 19th. He would have hoped for better, I'm sure. JB Dejoux will go off 20th. 21st will be Chris Dixon. 22nd will be Boyd Dreesen. Tony Walker will go off 23rd. Chris Needham will go off 24th. 25th will be Andrew Littler. Dave Campbell will go off 26th. 27th will be Fiona. Kylie will go off 28th. David Ayres will go off 29th. And Anthony Hilton will go off 30th tonight as we get ready to race.
I'm loving the look of the bottom of that grid, Pete. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's certainly going to be an interesting start. We're going to focus on Jamie Wilson and get a decent camera if we can even find one. Cameras aren't great round Knockhill. Sam, any advice for the guys who are about to get overhauled quite quickly by the super fast guys not that far behind them?
Close your eyes and pray.
Close your eyes and pray from Sam Boozin. That's excellent advice for those that don't want to finish. Right, so Jay Corley will lead us away.
You need a good start here to stay in front of this, because they're voracious, and you know they really look to make those places early.
Yeah, and Davey Daniels will have had a good chat with Kevin as the lights come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are go here at Knockhill for the 40-minute race. Why is PVG dropping down the standings? I don't know. I think it's a glitch.
Maybe a very bad start.
Maybe, but I think he was just had a bit of a random disconnect, because he's right there and he's doing okay.
Someone else.
Oh, that's Jamie. Isn't that Jamie?
I think that's Pete Newman.
Oh, is it? Pete Newman. Yes, it was.
Oh,
it's getting painful. Right, no block track though. No block track, I don't think, anyway. It's a bit chaotic back here, but cars have made their way through.
Off the side here. Can they get back on? They're going to have to wait to the back, because it's just a bad time for that to happen when everybody's in so close together.
Yeah, we've got a couple of cars in pit road. I'll come back to those in a minute. There's Dave Campbell again. Anthony Hilton, don't think he started. And Chris Needham's in the pits again. He only has one type of look, and it's not good look.
I think Anthony bailed on race one.
Oh, do you?
On Discord, and yeah,
okay, fair enough.
He's not on the track.
Okay, that's a shame. PVG, you can get off that like button straight away. Right, I'm going to go right to the back here as... there's lots of happening. That's Kylie going round with David Ayres. Helping him.
Crunch.
Yeah, so that's removed.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Sam.
I'm not sure about the rejoin. I know he tried to do well, but I don't think whoever he was fighting with, I don't remember, was expecting a rejoin that.
David Ayres.
Line.
Yeah, I agree with you. He could have stayed on the grass for a bit longer, given the fact that the car coming down the hill was going that fast. As we nearly go 4 wide here around Carl Hardy, leading into turn 1. This one's going to get tasty. Oh, right, so they've sorted themselves out.
You always expect something every time, don't you, around there?
You do. Dietmar is about to get mired into some very, very fast traffic as he goes hooning it over those
Auto cut back
bumps.
from behind.
Yeah.
I don't know who did that.
That's his
27, that's Rene. Nice one.
Yeah, Rene, yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful
Rene's
overtake.
very quick driver, as we've learned. He's been outstanding.
Borderline pro driver, in my opinion. We'll have to see what happens with him over the course of the rest of the season.
But he's sparkling. It's great. He's been putting beautiful performances. He's fitted right in with the league. Both of them have. They're a fine addition and slotted right in. And you need to be good to slot in with this lot.
Yeah, Pete Newman, not happy with Summit, was he?
Not happy at all.
Flashing his lights, he was weaving across the track. There was all sorts going on there. I think if there was a hand gesture, it only involved 1 or 2 fingers.
They need to implement that in iRacing, man. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, it would. Oh, dear. Right, so Sam Blee's got a slowdown, and he's about to get swallowed up here by Wobbly, by Dietmar, who is at the head of this little queue.
I don't think he had a slowdown.
No, he seemed to come off.
I just think he missed a bit his line in the corner. Well, at least Wobbly had a better line.
Yeah, Pete Newman has decided, you know what, I'm out of this. None of this crap for me. I'm going to pit the car now. As we rejoin
I don't think there's any way of avoiding the traffic here.
No.
This place, I don't think there's any way of doing it. You can't go in the pits and come out and expect clear space because there isn't any.
Well, he is going to manage that, actually. He's going to leave the pits very shortly, and he's going to be in open traffic, in open track.
Yes, how
I think
long?
that's a good call.
What did you say, Sam?
I think that is a good call.
I think it is as well. It gets him out of trouble.
Is 5 laps enough though?
I don't know. 6 is usually the magic number. Ooh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
These are spectacularly short laps as well.
Wobbly defending from Remy Malaberti. Jamie Wilson sets the fastest lap of the race. Spencer beats it straight away. He just annihilated it.
Well, that's fine by Jamie to get up there in the first place, though. And Jay's there racing away. He's like hanging on to his first position.
I tell you what, Wobbly should hopefully, if this doesn't end in some sort of tears, have lots of good things to say about Remy Malaberti after just that one lap. They did a whole lap there, side by side.
That was good. It will be interesting to look at the lap times because they did 53 last time by, which when you say the best lap is a 51 something.
Yeah.
I 51.
It's glacial,
and
isn't
Pete
it?
Newman got clear track and he was battling with these guys. So I will track a bit Pete Newman's time.
Yeah,
see
cool.
if he's gaining or not. But that would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be great. Cheers.
51's a bit of an outstanding lap, though, isn't it?
It's remarkable, yeah.
52.9 for Wobbly this time. 53 for the guys behind.
Oh, wow. Right, okay. So, Wobbly has gapped this group. He's already got Dietmar in his sights, so the Cutting Corny fans on the chat. Wobbly is one of the fastest guys here.
52.2.
It's a shame to have lost Chris and Kylie.
Yeah.
It is. Chris is in the pits now, but yeah, lost half of his smart.
We're just going to switch the view to the class standings to show that Jay Corley leads the way. He's got a massive 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds over Jamie Jeffrey, but that's coming down slowly. Spencer McCarthy in third. Wobbly's gone to pit road. He's followed what Pete Newman did as Jamie Jeffrey gets underneath Kevin Daniels.
I told you.
Yeah.
I told you that's a good spot to pass.
Yeah.
Well done.
Very nice and clean as well. I wouldn't try it, but it's clearly Sam Boozin would.
Jamie,
well, you need both
Jamie
drivers
can.
to cooperate to do
Yes.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So Jamie Wilson, he leads the Pro-Am category standings at the moment, with Kevin Daniels some way behind, 4 seconds behind. Roger Morton in third, Pete Van Gool in fourth, and Carl Hardy in fifth. Those three glued together. And then in the Am category, David Ayres, who started like pretty much dead last, has already got up here to top of the class standings with Boyd Driesen in second place, just a little bit behind him there. Coming out of the corner with Stefan crawling all over him. So that is how that looks at the moment.
But it's not so long ago that we just had Andy circulating by himself, then we had Fee, but now we've got all these people filling in the gaps there and making great racing for the people at the back end, and it's nice for them.
Yeah, it is. It's good. It gives everybody a bunch of cars to race with. Jay Corley's under some serious pressure from Jamie Wilson, who's clearly loving this. 3 going through a corner in one order and come out of it in a completely different order every lap. It's quite good, this. Spencer McCarthy making his way through this field. He's not got this done yet. That's Roger Morton that he's going up against next after putting Kevin behind him.
You're going to have to work to get past Roger, broken ankle or not.
Yeah.
But he is scrupulously clean and fair. But he's hard.
Yeah, he's shown that many times in the last, particularly 2 seasons. As Spencer stuffs it down the inside there, and that's a lovely overtake, Sam. That was clean as a whistle.
Yeah, beautiful. But he's got that magic mojo, hasn't he, Spencer? So we've seen that there's something magical that some drivers have, a spring or something that they can...
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. Miguel does it as well.
I know, I wish I had the talent that was just in their left little fingernail, because it's 10 times what I've got in my entire being. Right, there's a lot of cars going up pit road now, so at the moment Russell Cowell and Pete Newman and... Oh, Wobbly's left the race.
Oh, well held, sir.
Wobbly has left the race.
And I have Pete Newman has crashed as well.
Well, maybe that happened together.
Has Tony Walker crashed?
Not yet.
I'm just seeing the...
Oh, hang on. So what's going on here? Ooh, dear.
Oh, it's Andy.
That's Andy Littler. And then...
Oh, Pete.
Yeah.
That explains it. Yeah, I think coming from the chicane, you don't see what's coming up, and
no,
I don't think he had anything else to do apart from hitting Wobbly.
Yeah, that's very, very disappointing.
I don't know,
to be honest.
If you can have an onboard from Pete's
I'll
car,
try it.
that would be awesome.
Hang on. There we go. Down into the dip. You can see there's a crash, and then smoke, and then...
he tried, but...
He did. And then both cars are absolutely smashed to pieces, as you'd expect.
Oh.
Well,
that is disappointing, because we really wanted to see what Pete was doing, how he would work out with his fueling strategy there. I was desperate. And he was involved in that chase, but there you go. That's the fortunes of war, I'm afraid.
I feel he's gone from the best strategy, Sam, to the worst strategy. Without...
Yeah, that's the thing with that strategy. You come back behind slower drivers and you have to cope with them.
Yeah.
And sometimes with the speed difference, incidents happens. And on a short track like this, especially.
That's the thing. It's the nature of the beast, isn't it? It's just a dangerous place. It's so close confines.
Yeah, as Dave Campbell gets out of the way there, and lets these guys continue to race for the very front positions.
Very smart, Dave. Blue flag, no doubt. And there's no shame in being lapped around here, let me tell you.
No, and wow, that is an out of control Jay Corley, and Jamie Wilson is about to inherit the lead of the race.
Oh, Jamie will snap that up, won't he?
Yeah, I think he put a finger out the window, but not the same as the previous one. That was more like a thumbs up. Yes, thank you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Jay Corley got a tyre onto the grass there, and it made it a wild ride, and his tyres are now going to be super hot. There's no way that those tyres are not absolutely molten now.
That is an issue with these cars as well, isn't it?
It really is, as we find yet more battles going on back here. That's Sam Blease cutting his way through underneath PVG there, and Carl Hardy right behind, Kevin Daniels right behind him in that DDK racing car. And then look at this. This is the fast Rene Earhart. Look at the distance that he closed just then. I know they're battling, but still, he's on them like white on rice. immediately.
Goodness me. This is hot stuff.
He got shouldered out of that one, but he's going to have a good drive up the hill here. This is a good old frantic race.
That corner is essential, getting that and drive up the hill, and because you don't want to lose time, and it's that hairpin bend is just
yes, it is.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah. I don't think Jay Corley agrees with us right now, but he'll come to terms with it eventually. So Pete Newman is now out as well. I don't think they necessarily, because they're already pitted, it may well have used their fast repairs on incidental, like flies on the windscreen, as opposed to repairing the car fully, or they just didn't see the point in racing at the back for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I guess when you've been at the sharp end and the adrenaline douche must be pretty awful.
Yeah.
Because you're coming from a very high place and suddenly, it's hit the fan.
Yes, it has.
So yeah, but that was very unfortunate. But it was nothing Pete could do about it. It was just a misfortune, an unfortunate set of circumstances, and I'm afraid they happen at this place because it's dangerous terrain.
It is, and I suppose it takes both. The first incident was the one that ultimately caused it all, and it takes both Wobbly and Andrew Littler to understand when to back out of a corner. So Spencer has caught up with Jamie Jeffrey in quick order as Roman Malabersi peels off to the pits.
How fast is it? You don't catch up with Jamie quickly.
No, and that's how you do it.
What is going on here?
Spencer? He's on one of those races, Alan, where he's just unstoppable. We see this, don't we, Sam, from time to time. We see it in the V8s every so often with individual drivers. They've got a car track combination, and there's no stopping them.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. There's one way to stop them.
Yeah.
You have guts for on iRacing right now in the session, but that's not fair to them.
No, true.
Although they're not fair to us that can drive like that.
I'm interested what Jamie was thinking there, because he let him by really very easily.
I don't think he had much choice in it. He'd gone off track after this.
Yes.
And that gravel trap rather does slow you down now because they've changed the physics of the off-track surfaces. It used to be that the grass.
I'm surprised they caught him up so quickly.
Yeah, true. I mean,
his pace. Jamie's got amazing pace.
Yeah.
The fact that Spencer closed him down so swiftly was something else. And I'll be very surprised if he doesn't open up a gap fairly swiftly as well. But I can imagine that Jamie will be doing everything he can to hold on to his back bumper.
Yeah, and that was.
What was that?
Dietmar Hoos letting Stephen Walker go.
Yeah, good. That's nice of you, Dietmar.
Yeah.
Well,
Some flashing of lights. I don't know whether that was for us or for Stephen. Either way, Stephen Walker through on Dietmar. Stephen Walker not having the best of seasons in that Audi, I don't think. He's having a solid season. He's the best performing Audi driver. But it's been a bit of a rough ride for him. He's the sort of driver that will see it through to the very end, though. He's not going to change cars.
Yes, but I think he would admit that he's probably not in what is the best car out there at the moment.
No, true. Are these two going to race, do you think, Alan? Carl and PVG?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Nope, not anymore, they're not, because Pete Van Gool has gone to pit road with that Honda.
Yeah, there's no team orders in result.
So...
and to be honest, I think they're too close to call these days easily.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's an awesome camera shot, by the way.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Well, whatever. Thanks for racing.
All I did was look away to get a drink.
Ooh, look at this.
I know. Jamie's
Oh,
literally
goodness me.
pushing Jay Corley around the track. Again, Jay's stream will be very, very interesting.
Just that we don't get any solid air happening, Pete,
Well,
because we've had that, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are all relatively local to one another, so you would expect the ping between servers to be pretty healthy and reasonable, but you just don't know what individual networks are like, do you?
We can keep our fingers crossed about that, because that is always a distressing thing, and we've had a couple of incidents of that.
We have. Jamie Wilson still leads this race after we saw the overtake at the hairpin earlier. So for those new to the series, you gain a point for every lap that you lead over the line. You have to lead it over the line up to a count of 3 for each race. So extra points for Mr. Wilson.
And he's doing a very good job of leading this, because there's some serious pace behind him.
Well, there's some serious pace in him as well. His best is a 51.65. The next fastest racer behind him is the car behind him, which is Spencer, on a 51.36. So he's right up there. He's just not in the stratospherically eye-watering, how the hell have you done that speeds of Spencer McCarthy.
He certainly didn't have any trouble getting past me in these Mazda last night, that's for sure. But yes, Spencer, as we know, is flying. So, Jamie is agreeing he's a pro-am. He's not even. He's shooting way above his class. Oh no!
That's a push.
Yes, it is. Now, the rules do state you've got one change of direction, and then you return to the racing line. So, I do actually think that that's exactly what Mark Draper did there. But we'll have a look now. So he's out offline there. He goes to defend here.
He's reacting to the car behind. That's not a correct change of line.
No,
that's on him. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a bit of blocking. So Mark Draper, I think we can assume, almost ejected himself there, Sam. Yeah?
Yeah. The thing is, when you change line before the driver behind you, you're not reacting. So, it's a fair defense. But when the guy behind is already committed to the line, you can expect him to just bail out of it in just a fraction of a second. That's not going to happen.
No.
So, I think it's on him.
And here's the overtake. Oh, crikey, that's a bit intimate as well. Overtake for the lead here. Spencer.
He's defending hard. Look, he's defending hard.
And then round, there we go. And that outside line with all the extra momentum that you're carrying through there is what got Spencer into the lead. He's done that very thoughtfully.
Yeah.
As he always does.
Yeah.
Was Jamie electrical?
I think he probably was. I mean, he gave him a little tap on the way down the railway, non-straight thing.
He could have pushed him a bit wider, just ease a bit on him. That would have been fair, but I know Jamie's a super respectful driver, so he's never gonna do that.
No, definitely not. So we're just over halfway. It feels like we've already done two races worth, doesn't it? Everything has happened in this race. It's unreal. We've lost Wobbly, we've lost Pete Newman, Russell Cowell has gone, Mark Draper's now gone as well. There's a whole bag full of people that Knockhill has claimed the scalps of, Alan, and
yes, well, I kind of expected it, Pete, so I'm not too surprised. I'm just a bit disappointed because things were really brewing up very nicely with some of those names there, and
I've got
it's
a
a shame to
question
lose
for you.
them, but everybody else then gets to race with somebody else, and look, we've got all these nice, very interesting little groups with, we've got people pushed into situations where they're in front with faster chaps behind. But if there's anywhere where you can keep a faster chap behind you with a bit of determination, maybe this is it.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why you should give up a place unless
No,
there's a
not
blue
at all.
flag flying. You're not obligated to at all. So we get these unusual combinations of cars, a huge mixture of the faster and the slower, and they all have to negotiate with each other and deal with the situation. Oh, there was Andy letting a load of people by, being very cautious, and that's smart driving.
Yeah, it's situational, isn't it? Smart driving, as these two safeguard cars go at it. Well, they were going to go at it, but Roger decided, I don't need to race you, Carl. I'm already ahead, and I'm going to go to pit road. So that's what happened there. And then Stephen Walker here is absolutely trying to. Well, he is carving his way through the field. He's already pitted, and he's already up to 15th. There's not that many pitted cars in front of him anymore.
Hamley's speeded,
Yeah.
and he's in 9th, and he's only 20 seconds behind the lead, 22. So I was about to ask, what's the pit lane time, including, transit and all? Because
I don't normally say it, but seeing as there's only a handful of
Leader's
cars
in.
still to go. Oh, leader is in, yes. So he's followed his teammate in 1 lap later. Pit lane time, 24 seconds is probably the slowest I can see on there. The very fastest is Sam Blees, as ever is the case, on a 20.8.
yeah, that's fast. Apparently, yeah, it's still behind.
Did he put any fuel in, do you think?
A thimble full. And here we go.
There's
This is
Jay
how
coming
close
out.
it gets.
Oh, look at this bit. You can see how that is a hairy rejoin.
Yes, it is. Good communication required for both parties, as David Ayres pits from AM class.
Doing his driving well. Is he leading the arm class, David? Looks like it.
He is.
Mr. Treason is in the pits now as well. So yeah, there's quite a battle happening there.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can tell you, Sam Blees did everything he could because he did the fastest lap of on the last lap.
Did he?
51.3, yes.
Yeah, he did. And that
So
was
everything
with
on the
traffic.
table, but yeah.
So he's going to take it to... well, Spencer McCarthy is a remarkable amount of time ahead of him now. 6.1 seconds ahead of his own teammate.
Yeah, he lost about 15 seconds on Jamie Wilson doing the pit stop. So I know transit time and all is 20 something. But they're still rolling into the pit lane. So the real time loss was only 15 seconds for Spencer.
Yeah, very true. Trying to see where the next...
So we've got Carl to pit, haven't we?
We
Has
have...
Has Jamie pitted?
Let me do what I normally do, and I shall scroll, right, get this one, and then do that. And that will show you when they pitted, and who is still to go. So, positions 1, 2 and 3, 5 and 6 and 7, is that? No, 5 and 6, 9 and 10. And then Andrew Littler still needs to pit as well.
It's looking pretty handsome for Spencer.
It really is, yeah. And I think he's catching up with Carl Hardy here, so he's going to pass Carl Hardy after pitting before Carl Hardy's even pitted the car.
Pitted the car, yeah. Is he going to go this time?
Absolutely remarkable pace.
Yeah, there it goes.
That's worked out wonderfully for Spencer McCarthy. Free track ahead of him, gets to tow up the hill from Carl Hardy on the ultimate lap.
He's going to inherit the lead of the race, isn't he?
I would think so. I don't think there's anybody to challenge him, really. Jamie Jeffries 12 seconds ahead of him, and Jamie Wilson is 14 seconds ahead of him. Should be able to see both Jamies in the same shot just here, with a Boots and BDS by undercut car in between them.
I think 14-second pit stop is probably a bit on the tight side.
I don't even know that you can do it. I don't know that anybody will try and fuel save this track. I don't think it's even possible. Although I have said that before and had egg on my face for it. Oh,
Jimmy Wilson's
Kevin!
not giving up.
Sorry, say that again.
Jimmy Wilson's not giving up. He's doing about the same lap times as Spencer, so he's still right on it. I hope I'm not jinxing him. If I do, sorry, Jamie.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm trying to do, but keep it up.
David Daniels says, "See, Pete, this is what happens when you go play tennis." Is it though? He just slid sideways through that last corner. And if I was Kevin Daniels, I would have probably pitted the car then and got my tyres cooled back down.
Do you like his paint though?
It's a lovely paint scheme, that.
Yeah, talking
Smart
about
paint.
paint,
Yeah.
what did the Spectre 6 guys did? Did they ask Picasso's grandchildren to do their paint? Or
So
what happened?
we've got multiple paint jobs in the Spectre
No,
6
the one in
camp.
front.
Yeah. So that's Tony Walker in the other paint.
Last season's paint, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So I think these are creations from Jamie Wilson. Each one of these is very different, and they're all unique. So each car's got a different one. Matt Elmore, or Flashy as we know him, has got a different one, ever so slightly. The different coloured patches are in a different order. And then you've got, where is he? Oh, Russell Kelly's out, isn't he? So we can't look at him because he's got a different paint again for Spectre Solo. So yeah.
That's interesting.
And Stephen, of course, as one of last year's livery as well, but he's changed to his green and black for this
He
season.
has,
with
yeah.
purple wheels,
Yeah, I like
which
it.
looks also looks outstanding. But we're seeing a lot of this lime green. It's clearly the colour of the moment. We're seeing a lot of these very bright green cars.
Well, you do need something to help you stand out on the broadcasts, don't you?
Yes, until they all look the same.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, you've got Jamie Wilson in the Team Chimera car there, and it's clearly a popular kind of colour scheme, isn't it? The mint wrapper, white and green.
Oh, I like that.
It's nice.
like
I like it. Yeah.
Chevron go faster. It always looks like it puts 10 miles an hour in top speed as well. Having Chevron
Minimum. Yeah, absolutely. Right, in the middle here, we've got Tony Walker being overtaken by his brother. Not yet. That Audi's not good out of corners. We know that. And Tony's defended that for this lap. Roger Morton is the cork in the bottle as Andy Littler rejoins next to him.
People.
Yeah, that could be a bit hairy as PVG goes through as well. You would think there would be good comms there because they're both in the same chat.
It's nice. They can hear each other's screams.
Yeah, terrified screams. Jay Corley is now bearing down on Kevin Daniels. Kevin owes us a pit stop though, so he's going to have to pit very soon, and I think his tyres are probably mullered by now in terms of heat, but he's not going in. Could do with cooling them
What's
down.
going on with Dave Campbell?
Dave Campbell. Oh, yes, good spot.
Oh, Dave.
So that's not going to rub out, I don't think. Let's have a look and
Yeah.
see.
That's Pete's corner. It's not good.
Is that mine?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's going to go off stage right here, folks.
Yeah, that's a Pete exits in.
We've been there.
Yes, we have.
Not even the first tonight, my friend, but I'm sad to see that happen to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's race night with us because you've been doing very well indeed, and you should be proud of yourself because you're doing a great drive.
And he only bought the track.
That's a real shame.
He only bought the track on Friday of last week, so he's doing all right. He's doing all right.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a Klingon that he doesn't really want now. But there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see if he can manage to get that car back and moving at some point. He may have used his fast repair in his first stop. That sometimes does happen.
Fingers crossed he hasn't and can get back on the track. Be nice if he can complete the race.
Yeah, we've got 8 minutes left of this race, and Stephen Walker's bearing down on PVG very, very quickly now. That Audi takes a while to get going, but once it does, it lights up. It lights up like a Roman candle.
It's got mass, you know. It's so big and heavy that it bends light around it like cinders.
Yeah.
But he's gone backward there, you know. He was fighting with his brother.
Yeah, he got shuffled back.
Meanwhile, at the front, Jamie lost a second on Spencer in the last 2 or 3 laps. So Spencer is making the run and will probably be ahead now of Jamie.
I think so anyway. I mean, he's only 13 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah.
Jamie Wilson, I don't think he's going to be able to sweat this out any longer. He's going to pit road
Gotta
now.
go.
He should be around Sambly. He's just in
And
front of him.
Jamie, both the Jamies are in. That's Spencer in the lead.
That will be interesting to see when Sam comes around. Yeah, that's gonna be tight.
Yeah, this is Sam that we're following here. Up and over the brow of the hill. Spencer's
Jamie
already
moving
gone.
yet. Yeah, Jamie's exiting.
And
Both
he's ahead.
Jamie are exiting.
Yeah. Ooh. This is good. This is good.
Oh,
I love this.
Jamie's got. Oh, come on.
So,
Now, this is a fascinating little scrap.
yeah, so
Jamie won't want to give that up, will he? He's going to give him a heck of a fight.
he should give him a fight as well. This is for second place.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's Veloster.
Oh, they're going to enjoy that.
Yeah, Veloster 1, 2, and 3. Now Spencer overtook Jamie around the outside a few laps ago, if you remember.
Jamie's trapped on the inside again. Look.
Not
Nah,
this
He's
time.
got a slight lead.
Sam kind of gooned that one. I don't think that was what he was intending when he went into the corner.
I think he tried to cut back, but
Yeah.
he touched too much
Yeah.
out of the corner.
Too much cut, not enough back.
Oh, dear. Stephen Walker is closing heavily on Pete Van Gool now. He's just drifting back a little. I'm just watching the timing tower at the moment. But Spencer McCarthy for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing is 5 seconds ahead of these guys.
Oh, diving the inside.
He's not going to get this just yet because at the moment that the left-hand line is a bit faster. JB in the pits for his scheduled stop.
This is great stuff by Jamie.
It is.
What a
This is
delight. Fantastic to have him back with us and driving like this. Fantastic driving, Jamie. And of course, I mean, 2 old campaigners, old friends, and they will relish this opportunity to contest the road. And they will give each other due respect and just enough space so that they can race.
Yep.
And look at this. This is the core and the heart of iRacing. It's what we love. 2 really good drivers, skilled, race-wise, canny, and
Ooh.
quick. Whoa!
Go on, Jamie! He's really giving him a fight.
I didn't expect anything. Come on, Jamie, don't get stuck on the inside. Oh, he's going to do it on the brakes. Oh!
Right, 4 minutes to go,
This is riveting stuff.
which is the same as 20
5
laps.
Yeah, not quite.
As Bill Switzer used to say, it's like flying fighter planes around a teacup. Hanif J is my new favourite person because he says, "Loving the coverage, great work, guys."
Yeah,
It's
best
me.
broadcast of the planet.
It is the best broadcast on the planet. Tees Vangle says hello. Where is Pete? He is currently in 10th place.
He's doing well. He's having a
doing
bit of
well.
a scrap with Stephen.
He is.
He was. I think Stephen just got by him.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they had a scrap. I was going to say, because Pete was giving him plenty to think about.
Dave Campbell says that was embarrassing. I disagree. I think he showered himself in glory until that one incident at turn 1.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Pete. I think that was fantastic driving tonight.
Yeah.
And he did himself proud, lad.
Oh,
I
Jamie.
think that's the only spot where Sam can pass Jamie.
Oh!
That was a close call.
And look who's just sniffing around in the background.
Yeah, Jamie's not going to miss anything.
No.
You know, he will gobble it up like a shark if anything falls off in front, that's for sure. He won't need to be invited twice.
No. This is crazy.
3 to go, I guess.
Yeah, something like 3. Spencer stretched the first race by an extra lap. Look at how Sam just gobbles up the track between him and Jamie. It's unreal, isn't it?
Yeah, the chicane is really his best spot.
Yeah.
He was too far back this time around, but yeah, he's a bit faster than Jamie. It's hard to do it though, because Jamie got the best spot to defend on the next corner, and then he got the inside, and then he can place himself for the hairpin. So.
Now, the interesting thing, Sam, is Jamie Jeffrey, just behind these guys, was half a second faster than the pair of them last lap round.
Yep.
So 2 more laps of that, and he'll be on them.
And you have to take notice, that's for sure.
Yeah. Roger now under pressure, serious pressure from Tony Walker. And that is a nice, well, it's a very controlled dive, and it worked, and it was lovely. We like it.
Yeah, that was...
That's a good send.
Yeah, it was a good send, good send. And then this is going on further back. PVG catching up with Stephen Walker.
Yeah.
I think the tyres on that Audi are gone.
I'm not sure you can call that a send, Pete, because that was perfectly under control. He got around that hairpin perfectly under control. And,
Yeah. It was a stylish...
Inch perfect,
send.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was just inch perfect. Goodness. Yeah, very impressive driving. Got to say, it must be in the genes.
I know. I think it's in the underpants. They're lucky, apparently, according to Stephen Walker.
I do think we are on the last lap now.
Oh, right, really?
I think so.
We've been known to miss the occasional last lap, to be honest.
Only 1 or 2.
I think 1.
There comes Tony Walker with Roger now behind him over the line. The flag is flying, that's why I was looking at that one.
Pretty close at the front.
Oh.
Now
He's in a good spot for the hairpin now.
Desperate.
he's going to try and bolt it to that right-hand side and make Sam go the long way round. As Spencer McCarthy already over the line, weaving his car. We can't watch you. Sorry.
On the inside. Yeah, he did well.
Oh, he's done a brilliant job of that. And Jamie Jeffrey has got it
he's
with
on
no
fuel.
Oh, goodness.
What a finish.
Unbelievable. Another podium finish for Jamie Jeffrey.
Oh, what a
Where's
drive.
Nicola? Nicola, you better get on the chat again.
Well done, Jamie. But wow,
Awesome.
guys, that was some kind of race.
It really was. And this is still on here. This is Rami Malaberti bearing down on JB. JB's going to bolt it to the right-hand side like Jamie did a minute ago.
Yeah, he needs
These
to stay on the inside.
Yeah.
It's been hammer and tongs, hasn't it?
Oh, right to the line again.
It should be okay for him.
I think so, yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Don't flash too soon.
Yeah.
Happens to somebody I know.
Oh, pass me some more pills.
I hope they've had the money. Do you think they've had their money's worth?
I know I have.
We have, yeah.
Paid anything. Oh dear.
Goodness me! Look at that. That's a perfect picture, isn't it?
I wish I'd found that one earlier actually. Wow. Well, that was something else. Knockhill is a brilliant track. Maybe the bottom, what's that? 8 drivers don't think so, but certainly I do. That was great fun. That Sam, you don't get much better racing than some of these tight, technical, small, rapid fire tracks, do you?
Matt, that was insane. That was awesome. It was great racing. They all almost all did super good. I think that makes an insane broadcast. And if you guys watching liked it, don't forget to put a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. So that's the plug for it. Yeah, that was great. Racing was awesome.
Yeah, and Alan, you know, we saw some great performances in there. I think Jamie Wilson's was probably one of the best I've seen from him for a couple of seasons.
Really exciting, but he's hypercharged and motivated, and yeah, he's really got stuck in since he came back from his brief absence, and he's making everybody sit up and take notice because he's got a green number next to his. He's completely out of his league classification. He's shot up there. He's right among the professionals and showing them the way to do it. But so many good drives tonight.
Yeah.
So much close racing. I don't suppose anybody's apart from the unfortunate non-finishers. I bet everybody's delighted with the way things have gone because I saw a lot of really good, clean, hard racing out there.
Yep, it was very hard fought, but in the most part, I'd say very fair. A couple of questionable choices, but nothing nefarious, obviously. So Spencer McCarthy tops the results yet again in the second of tonight's races. Jamie Wilson takes home the second spot and the top spot for the AM class for Team Chimera. Sorry, Hydro Race for Hydro Race Geodesic for Spencer McCarthy. Jamie Jeffrey finishes the bottom step of the podium, second in Pro class for Coupes and Convertibles racing. He should be very, very happy with that. Pipped Sam Blees at the line, literally at the line as Sam Blees coughed over for Hydro Race Geodesic racing in fourth. Jay Corley finished fifth for Result Clothing. And then Renee Earhart, second in class for Pro-Am, Cutting Corney TCR team. And Tony Walker finishing on the podium there for the Pro-Am class in seventh for Spectre 6. Then we had Roger Morton, who had a very entertaining night's racing. That was really good watching Roger racing along there for Spectre 6 in eighth. Ninth was Stephen Walker for Spectre 6, loads of footage for him again, for all the right reasons, absolutely scything his way through the field. PVG finished in 10th for Result Clothing. Kevin Daniels in 11th for DDK, so Davey's going to have words with him later. Carl Hardy in 12th for Safeguard by Result, with Loic Penault in 13th, not far behind him for Boots and VDS by Undercut. Dietmar Hoos in 14th for Cutting Corney TCR team. JB Dejoux chased him home for BSTV Pink in 15th. Rami Malaberti finished 16th for Boots and VDS by Undercut. David Ayres 17th and the top AM driver again. Obviously not in the last race, but he's regularly the top AM driver for Result Clothing. Andy Littler finished in 18th place, second in class for AM for Work Guard by Result. Just need to find the right button. 19th was Fee for Work Guard, followed a teammate home, and third in class in 19th. 20th was Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports, a couple of laps down after getting a bit roughed up. Boyd Dreisen finished in 21st for DB Quasi Racing. Dave Campbell ended up having to retire after finding the wall at the right hand side of turn 1 in 22nd for DB Quasi Racing as well. We've heard from him on the chat. Mark Draper finished 23rd. 24th was Russell Cowell. 25th, Wobbly Kneecaps. Pete Newman 26th. Chris Dixon 27th. And Kylie 28th. Not a great race for Kylie tonight. Or Chris Needham for that matter, 29th. Hopefully they'll rejoin us in the future and do better next time. And then Anthony Hilton did not start. Right, so that was some kind of race, that second one. It brought all of the drama. It'll be interesting to see what's happened with the standings, Alan, because Spectre 6 were some way adrift of Hydro Race Geodesic. Hydro Race. Yeah, Spectre 6 were some way adrift of Hydro Race before tonight, and I think that's only going to have opened the chasm a little bit further.
Yes, it will be interesting to see because there was quite a whirlpool, a hurricane of different people in different places. So there was lots of pro-ams in the top 10, I noticed. That's mighty fine driving by those chaps.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's because there was a number of pro drivers, either not here tonight or
In the pits.
in the pits and repairing cars and stuff.
Yes, but you've got to be in it to win it.
You really do, yeah. And Sam, you know, some of the new drivers to the league fitting in quite well straight away, especially the guys from DB Quasi Racing. Boyd Driesen had a very good pair of races. Shame about David Campbell in the second race finding the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because we know that corner is pretty tricky and the track is short and all. So, I mean, overall, we had a lot of good racing, and that's what I will remember, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're here for.
I'm here to drink scotch and watch my mates.
Yes, absolutely. As you often say, Alan, we are fans first and commentators after that. Right, let's start the round of interviews. So, first into the booth tonight, and claiming the maximum amount of points is Spencer McCarthy. Good evening.
Good evening. What an evening. I am very, very happy.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Can I have a small thimbleful of whatever it is you drank before you started racing tonight? Because either you live in Scotland at Knockhill, or you know it so well that you could drive it in your sleep.
I've been there once. I've done it once.
In real life, you're talking
in
about,
real
right?
life,
Just
yeah.
so that the people at home know what we're talking about.
Yeah, 2008. I did it once.
Right, okay. Did you win it by what did you win it by? Here it's like 8 seconds.
I don't remember. No, I don't think I did. I think the best I got was a second or a third.
Right.
In the race I was in.
Well, you've bettered that tonight twice.
Yeah, indeed.
Where did your pace come from? Is it setup? Is it track knowledge? Is it? Explain to us what you consider to be the difference between you and, well, literally everybody else tonight.
I think I've been dialing it in. I think, and I've been getting used to it again, right? As you know, and it's getting to that pinnacle again takes a while. And I think, I found something that works for me in the car, and starting to get a bit more used to the rotation. You know, when to come off the brakes. Just honing little bits, right? And I think tonight I did a good bit of practice on. Was it Sunday or Sunday? I think there was a session up or something. So I did a good 60 or 70 laps, which is probably it doesn't take long around here. That's about 20 minutes.
Maybe to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think I started getting a good rhythm. And to be honest, I just remember not being that great last time I came here, and I think I just got off on the right foot. I think the funny thing is sometimes when iRacing changed limits, it suits some people more than others. So I don't really like to monster curbs too much, even though if you looked at the chicane, I did it tonight. But T1, it's tricky, monstering that curb on T1. It always was because it launched the car, whereas now it doesn't launch it as much because you can't take as much curb.
Okay.
And then it's threading the needle through that first section, and I just had a good rhythm through that, and I think that was nice and consistent. I think the first race Sam had just as much pace as I did. And then he got a little slow down, and then it slowly crept in. But I think maybe it's just that consistency I built up, and I was hitting that chicane very regular every time, and I was that's probably what probably got it for me tonight. It was just knowing where I was on track at any point, and being able to follow people closely. Right, I think that was I think I got a few good overtakes in tonight just purely because I could judge what they were doing versus what I needed to do to get the run.
We saw a stunning overtake where you just was it Jamie you came by?
That was a good battle with Jamie. I really wanted Jamie to win that. When I saw him up there, I was like, "Go on, Jamie, put your foot down and drive away from me." And just because he's a lovely guy, and it's great to have him back. And he's obviously been through some stuff, and I just think, he did
what
really
a
well.
battle it was. It was fantastic, wasn't it? It was riveting. Honestly, I was edge of my seat. And,
It's always good battling Jamie. There was one bit though where we got through T7. I can't remember what it's called, which is the right hander onto kind of the back straight.
Clark turn.
Clark, yeah. So he went really defensive going into it because he got a bit of a bad run through chicane.
Yeah.
I then went, right, I'll go the outside and I'll try and drive on the outside. So he then gave me the room on the outside. And as we get around the T8, which is like the kink going down the straight, he tapped the rear corner of my car. Almost, he was like, I want a bit of draft. But then as he tapped it, it kind of properly wiggled me. And I'm like, that was very nearly like a oh dear moment.
Exit stage left. We were actually following that as it happened. And then we watched it again, just to be sure. It was good fun. And Sam, I think what Spencer said right at the start about doing 70 odd practice laps, for anybody like watching and wanting to be anywhere near what Spencer can do, practice is everything, isn't it? Especially even on a track as small as this, you can probably learn it in 2 laps. But doing 70 laps worth of practice, that gives you what you need, isn't it?
It does, but unfortunately, it's just that either, right? It's like I did that 70 laps and I'd hardly changed any setup, right? I wasn't going out for 5 laps, doing a tweak, 5 laps, doing a tweak. I pretty much did 2 full stints on a setup that was pretty much like the Imola setup that I prepared last week but didn't make it. Yeah. My eldest had a GCSE flap, and we had to then sort of look at some coursework and stuff. So Wednesday night got taken up with that. So priorities, right? So I couldn't do the race, which is fine, but I'd prepped for it, and this set I've been kind of getting used to over the last 3 or 4 rounds. So for me, it's getting into like what is an old shoe, and then you just bash out some laps. So you're not so worried about is the car right. You're just worried about learning the track, and that it takes that long to get your limits right. Right, so that it's all about using as much of the road as possible. So in our racing, as we know, that those 1Xs and those slowdowns are there for a reason. But if you can drive as close to them as possible, as consistently as possible, that's your pace. That is basically how you do it.
You're refining your car, but you're refining your driving as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Like you've almost, before you even touch the setup, you almost have to do 15 laps, because by that point, the car's got up to temperature, you've got used to the track. There's no point just jumping up, doing 5 laps, saying, oh, the car's rubbish, and just changing something, because you'll never get used to how the track feels, because you're always changing the car. Mm-hmm. So that's the advice I've got for anyone trying to get quicker at iRacing. It's, don't make needless changes, just learn it. Learn what you got.
I think I need to re-record the start of the broadcast then, because I said that we had to hate you because you usually turn up and do no practice, but clearly you've done loads.
You're right. I don't do a lot. I try not to do a lot because I think I try not to make this. It's not my profession. I've got other things. I've got a family, so I don't try and. But I must admit, because I've found it tricky to get back up the front again, I've had to sink a bit more time into it to get my kind of muscle memory back there. I think.
Yeah. Well, it's feel, isn't it? Because it's an intangible. I mean, the difference between you being absolutely 99.5 and 100% is an intangible thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're hitting your head against a brick wall going, why can't I do it? Why can't I used to be able to do it, and you don't know why. And then in the end, it just slowly comes back. It's not just an overnight click at all.
No, it's not something you could probably tell anybody what it is, but you know when you've got it back.
Yeah, it's the feel that you get. And then we're looking at monitors, right? So or VR. It's the feel you get when you know that you're at the right speed to come off the brakes and turn in. So you haven't slowed the car down too much, and you're not going in too fast. And when you're looking at pixels coming towards you, or pixels moving in front of you, the depth of field isn't there. So it's just one of those things that it creeps up on you, and in the end you're like, okay, now I can feel everything. I can come off the brakes at the right point. I can turn in the right point. Yeah. It
just gives you that fluency, doesn't it? It's all
absolutely.
about fluency.
And I'm not the quickest, right? There's obviously people out there that are quicker than me, right? As there always will be, right? And that's just what racing's all about. Don't ever think you're the quickest, because there's always going to be someone that's going to come and blow you away.
Absolutely. But You're
tonight.
certainly quick enough to be competitive in just about any environment, and I've seen you be competitive against the very best. And we know a Joe when we see one, Spencer.
Yeah, it was flowing well tonight. It was good. And hats off to everyone. I mean, we had 21 finishes out of a 30-car grid. There was some attrition. It's a small track. There's going to be some incidents. I think that's, but well done for everyone that kind of got through it and stuck with it. I think, yes, there was some close moments, but I definitely had some great, fights with some people, and there was good space given, good respect given everywhere that I saw it. So hats off to everyone. Good.
No, well said.
Yeah.
And we've got a lovely visit to Laguna Seca next week. It's a track that virtually everybody knows very, very well, but it's actually quite difficult to get good at, especially particular corners on it. That will remain nameless till next week. Don't want to spoil the surprises. I know you go well there because we've seen you race there a number of different times. What do you think about your championship hopes this season? Do you even know where you are?
I don't at the moment because obviously I missed last round, and I thought I was near. I was up the front of the championship for a while. Getting rid of drop rounds, and Miguel was creeping up on me, and obviously he's missed one tonight. But I don't know. I did at the beginning kind of had a slight hope for it, but I think that's kind of gone because I think Miguel's just so on it. Next time he's back out, he's just going to carry on where he left off, I think. But let's see how it goes.
Pete Newman didn't have at all good second race tonight.
No.
Which means you will have overhauled him. And I think with Miguel not being here, I think you'll be very, very close on points, depending on whether you bagged yourself a whole bag full of off tracks. But I don't think you did. I didn't see the slowdowns. I didn't see your number ticking up on the right hand side of my screen. So
I think I got 1 in the first race and 4 in the second. So
yeah, that's a whole load of people about to hate you quite a lot because I think some people are in. I think they've done their 5-bar gates many, many times. Anyway. But yeah, fantastic racing tonight. Sam, it's great to see Spencer in top form, isn't it?
No,
it's
too good.
Too good, too fast. Slow down.
No, well, Spencer, that was yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to say. You did start to finish the best race you could.
Yep, yeah, that was good. Very good. Thanks very much.
No problem. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go? Obviously not Wobbly.
I think. Yeah, not particularly Wobbly. No, I think it's disgusting that he just disconnected like that.
Yeah.
I was in chat with him to start off with. Yeah, I think he took the option to pit early. I don't know if he came in, did he, during the race?
No.
No, I think he was probably a little bit, upset maybe. But I think, he just pitted early and then obviously ended up with a load of traffic because he pitted early. Thinking that he could, but this track spreads everyone out so quickly that it's really going to be hard to find a gap when you pit early. So yeah, he just I think he's had a bit of a gutful this week. He had a bit of a bad race the other night as well. So yeah, after such a good weekend for him, bless him. So shout out to Wobbly for his achievement last weekend in his marathon.
Yeah, loads of chocolate bars.
Yeah. But yeah, and apart from that, just everyone on the grid really. I mean, I think. You got the likes of Steve Walker, who's still loving his racing. Doesn't really matter where he's kind of finishing. He's still appreciating the battles he's having. Sam, was bang on it again tonight. Always there to keep pushing me, and hopefully I keep pushing him. Shout out to Jamie, second place. Good stuff.
Yep, excellent stuff and very well said. We will look forward to seeing you. I think you may have just popped the top of the pro standard.
Don't tell me that.
Well, that's just going to mean that you can't walk away from it now.
I know.
But brilliant racing again. Some fantastic, honestly, gobsmacking overtakes tonight. Spencer McCarthy, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
So,
proper start.
Yeah.
Come on, we need to speed this up, my dear. I'm going to die of old age at this rate.
Are you really? Right, okay. In that case, we shall bring in our second place finisher from race 2. I can't remember what he did in race 1. Just give me a second and I'll tell you. He'll probably tell me before I get
14th.
Thank you. 14th for Jamie Wilson, who's been eating some Ready Break or something, Weetabix, don't know. Let's talk about the second race most of all. To be honest, I know you had some really good ding dong battles in the first one, but you managed to stay out front in that second race for an enormous amount of time, and then gave all the what we would consider super fast drivers a massive race for the front. It was great fun watching that. That was stellar.
Well, it's not often I get the opportunity to race for that sort of position, so
Yeah.
I got my elbow sharpeners out for that one.
Well, it worked. You were clean lines, very dynamic. You know, I'm sure when the pressure came to you with Sam Blees at the last there, your eyes were on stalks, and you've probably got very sore forearms from gripping the wheel too much, which is what happens to me. But you held him off. You stayed calm. You put your car in really sensible, well calculated positions. The pressure didn't seem to get to you too much, and in the end, he coughed over the line and lost another place behind you.
Yeah, I was chatting to him in the waiting room. He blamed me for that. I cost him a position by making him fight harder. So, to which I said, "You're welcome."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the start of that race there, I'd had a good battle with Jay in the first race, right at the end.
Yeah.
And so I shouldn't have passed him really, because then I would have had pole. So I ended up kind of not stuck behind him, because I might have had this slight edge on him, but not by a lot. So I was quite content to sit behind him. And I was trying to communicate that by just giving him, when I had the chance, when I had a good run, instead of like making it obvious I was going to go for it, I would just try and bump draft him a little bit to say, eyes forward.
Yeah.
I'm not the threat. Let's just like get down the road and build a gap, because this track's all about traffic and people getting slowdowns and this, that, and the other. So if we can establish a gap early on, then that just serves both of us better at the end. What I didn't count on was the fact that, as I understand it, he got a slowdown.
Coming out
and then
turn 3, yeah.
And then bump drafting someone that's got a slowdown is a bit counterproductive. So, so I was just trying to sort of say I'm quite happy to sit behind you, and then there was a bit of a netcode sort of weird collision sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
So it probably looked worse on the replay than it actually was, but yeah, it wasn't that I pushed past or anything. It was a combination of multiple things all happening at the same time.
Yeah. No. It was
and at that point, it was just like the Jaws music playing with Spencer, then passing him and catching up to me. And then, it was a bit inevitable from that. And I was surprised I came out ahead of Sam, actually. I thought, well, I better capitalise on that.
Sam Boozen wasn't. So Sam Boozen had called it that you would pop out ahead of Sam Blees. So I nearly got all my Sams mixed up there. Good grief. So he was on the calculator and had worked that out. Even if you hadn't in the heat of racing.
Yeah, I had a few other things going on at the time. Yeah.
Really, I hadn't noticed. But you seemed very controlled in that car. There was a lot of people who found some of the corners around this track more than a handful tonight, but you seem to take it all in your stride.
I wouldn't say it was controlled. I mean, you could. A stuntman can fall down a giant, mountain, and that's controlled, but it ain't elegant. You may be able to tell I quite like this track.
Yes,
I always have done. It's one of my favourite tracks, along with like Oschersleben is another one. And I don't know why. I just have a knack with the place. I can settle into it probably quicker than others can. Like I'm quite comfortable. I had to go through the Honda era. Of the Honda being rubbish and having weird suspension, all this and the other. So I had to learn to cope with that, and I managed to get that car going over over the chicane like a cloud. It was like bang on. I had found the knack. It took a while to get to that point. There's a very particular knack, particularly people were finding that in the Audi as well as the Honda tonight. Those two cars needed a very specific way of driving over the chicane for it to behave.
Right. Okay.
Both of the Hyundais, you can be a bit less precise through there, and it doesn't punish you as much. So, so because I was so used to being super precise through there from the Honda days, the fact that I was just being as precise as that was just playing into my hands with this. So, yeah, it's just a knack of the track. Some people have a knack at certain tracks. This is one for me. So,
no, it was excellent, and massively entertaining for us.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
it
What a
was.
scrap. Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure to watch you driving, Jamie. But that was a fantastic scrap with Spencer, and he enjoyed it as well. So yeah, way to go.
yeah, thank you. It was very, very rewarding. It's very stressful driving around here, just with on your own, let alone with any other cars.
Oh yeah, tell me
So,
about it.
Yeah, the pressure
I
was.
think what you
was
said
pretty
about
immense.
chicane, it had me off twice last night. It makes you turn left and leap into a wall for some reason.
Well, the chicane was the chicane this track backwards is far less enjoyable in my opinion than it is forwards.
Yes, I agree with you entirely.
And in the MX-5, things grab the car a lot more than in TCR. So, hitting a weird divot or something, it's just like, no, you're going over here now. A slightly less true.
I used to like driving this in the Elantra. I used to enjoy going around here in the Elantra. That seemed probably the easiest one to drive, probably.
It's proper balls to the wall, like chewing the steering wheel off stuff. And anyone that thinks, oh, it's hard, like, yes, it is. That's the point. That's what makes it rewarding.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd just drive at Watkins Glen every week, and that'd be boring.
Very true. Very true.
It certainly packs a lot into it. It's less than a minute a lap. It certainly does. It's a test for everybody, and so many people really like it. It's amazing. There's so many really skillful drivers say how much they enjoy coming here. So that says something about this place, doesn't it? Amazing.
Definitely. Right, so you've got some practice to do ready for Laguna Seca, which is a track that's very familiar to so many people on the iRacing service, at least, because it's been around since day one, I think.
Yep, it has.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to seeing you race there. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go? Was Simon screaming in your ear tonight or not?
I've only ever heard Simon scream when a certain nationality prototype brake tested him at Le Mans once.
Yeah.
In a 24-hour race. So yeah, not quite screaming, but no, he kept me up to, because it's only through him that I knew that Jay had a slowdown, albeit after the fact. So, so not that useful, but yeah, no, thanks Simon as always, and yeah, thanks to everyone that I was racing. Backmarkers all did a really good job from what I could see. Racing with Jay is a pleasure. Racing with Sam is a pleasure, and Spencer, of course. So yeah. And of course, thanks to you guys for putting it on. And since Sam's here, thanks to Sam for doing everything he does as well.
Yeah, well
and yeah, looking forward to next week.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will look forward to seeing you on 2 podiums next week at Laguna Seca. Jamie Wilson, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Night.
Right then, next into the booth, we're going to bring in Jay Corley next, I think. So, good evening to Jay Corley. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm still knackered after that race, but we're in there.
Well, you've got a week to recover. Don't know what you're complaining about. That seemed full on and frantic, mired into some of the most heated battles that we saw on the track tonight. I was saying to the people watching, if you've got a spare screen, you should be watching Jay Corley's stream, because it's going to be an interesting one. Race 1 must have been absolutely thrashing it all the way through, because everything was going on, right?
Yep, you needed eyes in the back and front of absolutely everything. Like, there's just literally no time to even think about what you're doing, whilst at the same time, by the time you're going around the track and you get into the back markers, you then got all that added pressure of trying to get through. And unfortunately, I had a bit of an incident with someone towards the back, and just a very bad case of communication error, and accidentally went at the back of someone there. But you know, managed to survive, get the 15th, which was all tactical, of course, because I knew I was going to start first on the following race. So, I mean, you could say it was a plan and a job well done.
You could say that.
Yes, what's that smell?
Yeah. I think I smelt it.
Time of year.
Farms come to mind. I think it was quite a controlled drive from you. You didn't seem to have the Honda ridiculous bouncing of old. You seemed to have a good setup on the car. It seemed very planted underneath you. You were obviously very, very quick, as long as there weren't certain back markers causing bother to you. We know you had to slow down with Jamie tucked up right underneath your rear bumper because he told us about that. And you had some good racing with Jamie Wilson tonight. In fact, all the Jamies you had a race with. Hopefully you had loads of fun.
Well, first of all, I think there's too many Jamies in the league. I'm absolutely sick of that name now. Like, I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see, and this is context behind this one, but I don't want to see Carl's rear end either because I'm fed up of that as well. But
in all the meanings of that one, yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, the car was definitely the weaker of the cars for this week. I had to really sort of change my driving line, especially with the new slowdowns that have been brought in for turns 1, 2, and 3. Got past that. Set up, yep, nice and solid, and it was just a case of as long as I could try and keep it consistent and just be very aware of my surroundings, we'd get the job done. Race 2, there was a little bit of bump drafting that was a bit too hard on the bump draft in the final corner, but you know, a 5th place at race 2 was much higher than I even dared to dream for that one. So I think, yeah, all in all, just a good, sensible drive, and I'm very happy with where I finished on the feature.
Yeah, and Sam, Jay's only one of 2 Honda drivers in the field tonight. Obviously, with Big Mig not being here this week, Jay's performed the highest of the Hondas, and it's not an easy car to control over some of these corners, and it's good outer corners generally, but in terms of overall handling and top speed, it doesn't do it. What are your thoughts on Jay's performance this week?
Well, if the Honda is really that bad compared to the other car, I mean, that's solid results. So yeah, good job.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Laguna Seca next week for you, Jay, and for the fans of your stream. You know, everybody knows it so well, and you know, it's easy to learn like Knockhill is, but in terms of mastering it, it's a completely different question, isn't it? Are you good there? Do you go well there?
I've actually had plenty of practice because pardon my plug here, but I'm actually releasing my first ever track guide video, and it is going to be Laguna Seca for beginners. So any aliens listening, you're not going to get any quicker watching it. But yeah, just to try and get more people getting into TC as a thought, do a track guide. It's a nice, easy track to, like you say, easy track to learn, hard to master and get quick with. So that comes out on Monday, so we'll see how that one goes. So I've had quite a bit of practice around there, trying to just get everything nice and tight, nice and smooth. But I think it's going to be fantastic racing there, high participation, and I'm really looking forward to it. One of my favourite tracks on the whole service to watch races at. Driving it just depends what car, but we're in the TCR, so technically it's, you know, the best series for the track.
It is mega overtaking opportunities everywhere around that track. When you've done your track guide, send me the link to it. I'll put it into the body of the of our broadcast, and then people can watch that before they watch the race or watch your stream from the BSTV one. I always.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, it's good to like mutually support each other. I do the same thing for Dan Molden SRL. You know, they race the same sort of things as we do, but on a different night. It's about creating communities, isn't it? So,
Absolutely.
Do that, and we'll get you plugged on. I plug your streams anyway in our broadcasts, as you probably already know, and we'll continue to do so. But great racing tonight. Anybody you want to shout out to or thank before we let you go and start your practice and your track guide for Laguna Seca?
I'd like to thank everybody called Jamie for the great races tonight. All 27 million of you. I won't forget any of you in a hurry. But no, seriously, fantastic job as always, guys, with what you do. It's honestly one of the best leagues I've raced in iRacing. And yeah, it's just a really, really good feeling around the league at the moment. A nice, good sense of community as well. And a massive thank you to everyone who watches all the broadcasts of not just yourselves here, not just me, but everyone who streams or uploads the videos of their races. Thank you for continuing to support everybody with what they do, because the only way that TCR is going to get even more popular than it already is word of mouth, and everyone's doing a fantastic job of helping spread it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. Yeah, it's all about the community, especially with the TCR. And of course, in the UK at least, the BTCC official Real World Series starts this week, so we'll probably get a little tiny injection of extra interest. Usually happens each year, so we'll see what happens with that. But
I'll bring it on.
Yeah, as for tonight, Jay Corley, thank you very much. Fantastic racing, and we will see you next week.
Absolutely. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Well done, Jay.
Cool. Right, two to go. So, first into the booth will be Chris Dixon. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening.
Evening. Right, so you got yourself. Oh, let me find you on track before I continue talking. Where have you gone, Chris Dixon? There you are.
Well done tonight, matey.
Yeah.
Well, in the first race, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, race 2. We'll pretend. Well, yeah, we'll talk about race 1. So you got on the podium for race 1 in the AM category. You had Boyd Driesen, who's brand new to our series, but clearly a very talented prospect for probably next season to give you you guys in AM a rounded, competitive little league there. And ahead of your teammate Andy Littler, and gained yourself the maximum amount of AM points available.
Yeah, I was quite happy with that. It was a good start, and well, for me it was, not for other people. There was a few flew off in front of us, and I realised I was in pole, like first in the AMs, so basically it was difficult to tell who the prams were that were behind me and stuff coming up.
Yeah.
But I realised, and when I realised that I was racing him, I kept him about 2.5 to 4 seconds behind me.
Mm-hmm.
But he did catch me up quite a bit until I realised who it was. Then I thought, oh, I better get my foot down. But yeah, I was quite pleased with only getting a 1x in the first race. And
Oh, my neck.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
well, I could have gone a bit quicker, but I know how bad the slowdowns are. And as soon as I saw all the mayhem, I thought, right, I'm just going to back off a bit and play sensible, which luckily in the end it worked out. But yeah, I was quite pleased with race 1.
And one incident point around Knockhill, Sam, you'd take that any day of the week, right?
Yeah, any day of the year, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. No, good racing tonight. Good racing. And then in the second race that we're going to pretend didn't happen, you came a bit unstuck pretty, reasonably early on in the race, didn't you?
Well, before the flag,
Yeah.
I put the clutch down and put it in gear, and it just set off.
Right.
And so I knocked it back into neutral and reset, and then put it in first gear with the clutch down, let the clutch go, and it just sat on the grid.
Oh, right.
It didn't go anywhere, so I missed it out and it went.
Right.
And I thought, right, I'll save the slowdown. So I drove through the pits with me pit limiter on, come out the pits, and the pit limiter wouldn't come off. I was halfway down the bank before I got it off, and then I got a black flag for speeding in the pit lane. It was like, I don't know.
It sounds like one of my laps.
Oh, it was, but then I went in to save the penalty for the black flag for speeding in the pit lane, pulled up at my pit box, and I got disqualified. So I don't know if, I think the first, because it said I was speeding in the pit lane, I hadn't served the first black
Cancelled the
flag.
penalty.
Yeah,
So
possibly.
I think
Oh, I've had that on to me, Chris. Goodness.
I just laughed about it as soon as it
Yeah.
happened. I was like, oh, well, that's race over anyway. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just enjoyed it. And,
Cacophony of errors, that one. That sounds bizarre.
I thought you were driving really well though in that first race. I mean, we saw some good quality driving out of you, didn't we?
yeah, I really
You must be
enjoyed it.
happy with the way you were driving.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I had a bit of practice with Carl, and then Pete showed me a few laps on Monday night. He sat in front of me, and he said, just stick with me if you can. And for 90% of the lap, I was fine. I was just getting too much wheel spin going down the back straight, coming off that. I don't know what the corner's called, but coming off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit of wheel spin then, losing probably 0.2 of a second. But then coming out the hairpin, I was losing about 0.8. So
Right, yeah.
I was losing like a second on just 2 corners, and I sort of got coming out the hairpin down to losing about 0.5, which was a lot better. But yeah, that was thanks to Pete Newman.
Yeah, I think see if you can get a copy of his telemetry and figure out where he's gassing it and where he's not. Really, in these cars, like I'm talking like an expert because I was brilliant in these, of course, not. Like any other car. Before Sam gets there and says it, I can hear you. I can already hear you, Sam.
You're good at.
I said nothing. You said it.
It's about getting the car straightened up and carrying the momentum through the corner more than it is anything else. But what do I know? Where are you from anyway? You sound like you've got a familiar accent.
Hartlepool, northeast.
Right. So you, me, and Mark Draper probably live in about 5 miles of one another. So
Right.
I'm in Stockton.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
we've got a showroom on Portrack Lane, so.
Oh, hang on. Right, okay. Me and you are gonna have a chat later. Anyway, we shall see. Oh, Laguna Seca. Have you driven that lots and lots, like most people?
No, I have driven it, but not an awful lot. So I need to do a bit of practice this week.
Right. Well, it's a track that this car relishes. It's very good round there. It's a handful, but it's great fun. I'm sure you'll find it a blast.
The plunge down the corkscrew in one of these things is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Even if you're not in VR, you can feel the car like embed with the tarmac going through there. It's a great feeling. It's good. But yeah, anybody you want to shout out to before I let you go and practice for Laguna?
No, just the usual. Use yourselves for putting the broadcast on and giving us the opportunity to race each other, and obviously all the drivers for turning up and driving as superbly as they have, really.
Yeah. I mean, the quality in this league is excellent, and it's great to have you as part of that excellence. Chris Dixon, everybody.
Well done, Chris. Thank you.
Cool. Right then, and last in line, as ever is the case, and in her familiar slot, is Fiona Siddons. Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening, Pete.
Yeah.
Good evening, Alan.
Sam Boozen's in the booth as well, Fee, so you've got multiple people
Hi,
to
Sam.
speak to.
Hello.
So, race 1 tonight was a 27th for you. It was a big field, and you were quite a few laps down by the end of that one. Tell us what happened.
Went into turn 1 a bit too quick. It swapped ends. I straightened it up, but then it just ploughed straight on into the tyres on the outside of turn 2.
Okay.
Oh, been there, done that.
We did see that, didn't we? We saw it in the background. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's very sad. And
Cold tyres, though, wasn't it? Was it cold tyres?
Probably, yeah. It was early in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you drive round to get to pits, or did you reset?
No, I just carried on racing.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Because on a track this short, it's always worth trying to get there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So well done for that. And then in the second of tonight's races, far better result. I think you were third in class behind Andrew and obviously David. Won AM class in the second of tonight's races. So you got yourself a podium. So you got be very happy with that, surely.
Yeah, very happy with the podium. Strategy didn't work. Soon as the leaders got behind me, I pitted. I thought, well, if Andy stops out and has to slow down for back markers, I might be able to jump him, but no, it didn't work.
Right, okay. I mean, how far behind him were you in the end? It was 10 seconds, was it? Something like
No,
that.
it's,
Oh, no, it was,
only about 1.5 seconds,
yeah.
was it? Something like
Well, by the time he got to the line, it was 2.08.
that. Yeah.
But that's probably just kind of coming off the gas out of the last corner. So yeah, very very close final bit of racing there in that second race. You seemed like, I mean, you at one point we saw you letting quite a lot of cars through and you know, choosing the sensible option as they were piling through. But you seem to have great control of the car around Knockhill. I know you like this track. I know it features highly in your list of favourite tracks. Did you have a load of fun tonight? I hope you did, because I know how you feel about the track.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I mean, race 1, not so much because the car was damaged, it was slow, but race 2, I really did enjoy it.
No, that's good. That's good. There's no fun really driving a car that's handling like a pig, is there? When it's damaged, it's just soul destroying. You know the potential that you can run to, and when you're nowhere near it because the car can't do it for you, it feels demoralising. So it's good that you've had that feeling in the second of tonight's races. Very very good driving tonight.
Well, it was good as well when JB was coming up to lap me in race 2.
We saw this actually.
When he finally caught up with me, he said, "You've got some pace tonight."
Yeah. And he wasn't wrong. It was absolutely right. So yeah, we got Laguna Seca next time. I think that's another track that you like, isn't it?
I like it, but I never seem to get on very well with it.
Ah, okay.
Well, this is going to be the big change next week then.
Yeah.
So you turn the tables on Laguna.
Yeah, get another podium.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's great, isn't it, that you're getting that kind of racing down there? It's I think it's fantastic for you that you're new people joining every week, isn't it? And
Yeah, I mean, splitting it up into 3 classes, it really has made it a lot more fun for us at the back.
yeah, and it's good that new, new drivers to the TCR, new drivers to the league, and new drivers to it being an improvement journey, are also still joining. So we've got Anthony Hilton, Boyd Dreesen joined tonight, Dave Campbell joined tonight. All brilliant additions. I don't think Anthony Hilton particularly enjoyed his experience this evening, but Knockhill is it's a tough one, isn't it? It's not a track that you can just rock up and do well at. This is a track that you've got to focus on the real intricacies of how you get around each corner and make the most of each corner and stay safe more than anything, right?
Yeah, definitely, especially sort of like going down the corner before the chicane and the chicane. You find margin going on the curbs, whether you get a slow down or whether you're fine with it. Things like that you've got to learn.
Yeah. And if you don't give it patience, like most of the things with iRacing or racing in general, it's not just to do with iRacing, that's very unfair of the service. It does take a massive amount of patience, a huge amount of time, and lots of practice. As we heard from Spencer right at the start, all the way from the top and the very fastest drivers to those that are still learning it, or that they found their pace and their enjoyment bracket and they're happy racing in it. It's all about investing that time. But we hope that you change your opinion of Laguna and it becomes something of a track of success for you next week. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, you guys for putting the stream on, everybody who works in the background to make it happen, and everybody who turned up tonight to race. It's been great.
Great stuff, and very well said.
And a special shout out to Alan, and I'll pick you up about 8 o'clock on Sunday.
Oh yes, yeah, we're going to Donny on Saturday to watch the touring cars.
Oh, very nice. Well, I just mentioned that in the last conversation with Chris, didn't But yes, excellent stuff. Well, who are you shouting for, both of you?
Don't know yet.
Don't know. Brilliant.
We're pretty straight down the middle. There's obvious people, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
One or two what we've raced on iRacing to root for them a bit.
Yeah. There's there's a couple of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
Some iRacers in there, Ash Sutton and co. So yeah, well, have fun with that. Make sure you get into the pits at some point and have a poke around with the cars. And we'll look forward to seeing you racing in our leagues, Fiona, this time next week at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, definitely be there, and I'll get a bit more practicing. My mum's gone in a care home for a month, so I'll get a bit more practice now.
Right. Okay. Well.
Well, and a welcome break. And
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Good that she's got somebody to care for her, professionally, as it were, on the other side of the spectrum. So yeah, brilliant stuff, and we will look forward to seeing you next week, Fiona. So Fiona Siddons, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
night, Pete. Oh,
Right. So.
oh shit! Got to think about drive of the night.
Shit, indeed. Sam, I hope you've been doing your calculations mathematically on a spreadsheet somewhere, because we've got some voting to do. I usually run through the field, don't I? So Spencer McCarthy, it's hard not to vote for him, to be honest. That's a pair of results out of left field. Would he have? I mean, it's a pointless question to ask, but would he be there if Big Miguel was here? I don't know. Probably is the answer.
But it would have been great to see.
It would have been a
regardless,
pleasure,
wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Jamie Wilson, a bit of a rough ride in the first one, but you cannot fault that second race performance. That was stellar. Jamie Jeffrey had a bit of a rough ride in the first one, didn't he? Where did he finish in the first one? He was in the top half of the table, that's for sure. Jamie Jeffrey, yeah, 6th in the first one, 3rd in the second one, gifted the last position in the second one. Somebody's had a bit of a torrid time in the second one with the fuel, but he did very well. I'm looking down the list now for other standout moments and standout results. Who have we got in the top spot of? So Chris Dixon did very well, getting the top.
Chris Dixon did well. Yeah.
Getting the top place in the AM category in the first race, but he didn't have the best of second races at all, which is sad. I think
there were some good pro-am races in the
there were
pro league as well.
Really were, yeah. Some proper good results. Jay Corley had a very good second race, but again, his first race wasn't stellar in 15th. But if we believe what he said, which we cannot do, he planned it so he could get the pole. I'm gonna go with something I don't normally do. I'm gonna vote for Spencer McCarthy because I think that was just a little bit too special. The way he got through traffic, the way that he got through back markers, it was all very, very calm, calculated, smooth. The air of someone who's raced for very many years and is very professional at what he does. So my vote tonight is going Spencer McCarthy's way. Alan?
Yeah, I'm finding this really hard, but I'm gonna say Jay because I think Jay has been actually quietly deserving a bit of acknowledgement for a few weeks now, with some really fine performances that have just been slightly outshone by just mega performances by double wins and such like that have stolen the vote. But I think Jay's been actually well worth a shout, and I'm delighted to be able to give him that shout tonight.
Excellent stuff, and I think that's very well deserved. And Sam, great to have you back in the booth. And as a reward for that, you get the difficult decision of voting for somebody. Who stood out for you?
An easy one for me this time. Jamie Wilson. I think race 2 was an absolute masterpiece from him.
It was very well done, wasn't it? He would have been my second choice for sure. I just think that, yeah, he did such a good job of staying calm and cool and under pressure, didn't buckle. So I think that is a very, very well spent vote. Right, folks, we shall draw this broadcast to a close. Thanks to everybody that joined us in the chat on YouTube. Thanks to everybody that watched, even if you didn't contribute to the chat. Obviously, to the drivers and to those drivers that joined us this week, you fit in very, very well. Hopefully, those that had a bit of a rough night can brush that off and join us again next week at Laguna Seca. Obviously, thanks to Alan, as ever, for making this the professional broadcast that it is. And same for Sam, who does all the bells, whistles, and all the technical stuff in the background, which I'm too stupid to do. And I will see everybody this time next week for Laguna Seca. Good night, everybody, and I'll hand it over to Alan.
Yeah, good night, folks. Been a lovely evening. Seen some fairly dramatic stuff out there, some scintillating racing. Been lovely to have Sam in the booth with us. It's all too rare a pleasure, and looking forward to next week. And I'll see you all there. Night, night.
Thanks, Alan.
Sam.
Thanks, Pete. And well, we will see you next time. Don't forget the thumbs up and enjoy the rest of your day.